Excellent.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the original Next Level Gaming and the NLG show. Welcome on this Sunday night. It's good to have you guys with us, and got a great show for you this evening with a couple of great guests, and myself and Juan covering for the crew tonight. And how you guys all doing?
I'm having a fantastic day.
All right. Are we being sarcastic?
No, I had the day off. I got in a ton of great gaming. I discovered that my central air just works when I had thought that it didn't. So, sweet.
Nice.
For a couple of years.
Oh.
So yeah,
that's
good day.
pretty funny, man.
All right. Well, congratulations on getting central air conditioning. That's a great thing going into the June and July month.
Yeah. That is an expensive repair, believe me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I had thought that it was I had a miscommunication with the landlord, and I thought that it was non-functional, and it was just something that we weren't going to be able to repair, afford to repair. Turns out that it just didn't work when I tried it one time a couple of years ago because there was a circuit breaker popped I needed to go find. But so awesome.
I had to replace the hell was it? So on the compressor there's a I can't remember what the piece was. It stopped. What basically happened was the fan started going real slow and sluggish, and it would only spit out hot air into the house. And I thought we were gonna have to buy a new compressor. And I opened it up. I don't know why I opened it up. I'm only half mechanical. And there was this thing in there that was all blown up. And I was like, that doesn't look right to me. It turns out it was a $30. Thank you, Zoner X, man, the capacitor. It was a $30 part and 10 minutes, and I felt like king of the world, man. It was great. So dude, finding central air is great. Thank you, Zoner. So, all right, well, I want to introduce our guests for tonight. These guys are some fantastic gamers, some good friends, and finally, we get Eric Jackson, the man down from sunny Florida on the boat. You see, you don't see him rocking back and forth right now because the waves are a little high. But this has been a long time coming, EJ. What's going on, brother? It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, I was on before you when you guys had NLG.
When? Why do I not remember?
It was before the crew you have now. I was on. You had Enrique on.
Did you?
I think Bella was on. Yeah.
Oh, were you on the Bella episode? The infamous spreadsheet episode? Were you on that?
I think so. I think that was the one.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and look. There were two.
Yeah.
There were two Bella episodes. One of them was about spreadsheets. I couldn't. Oh well, then. It's been too long since you've been back. See, that's how I don't remember, man, because it's been way too long. So,
but I'm happy to be back.
We're happy to have you on, man. It's been too long.
Indeed.
And you're a busy man yourself. You're on a couple of shows now. Along with let's see, you've got. Well, give us the rundown of where you're at.
Well, Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock on BRAP with Enrique and B Money of Tick and our newest co-host, Slow Mo. And so we have our fun little thing that we do on Wednesday nights, and now also on Saturday nights, the Gaming Perspective with Nick Undead,
Nick,
Jared, and Sam Tolbert, all of Tick.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize again. I was supposed to be on with you guys last night and had a band gig, and I felt bad because the week before he wanted me on, and I had forgotten why. There was something. It was my anniversary with my
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
Deadpool, right?
Right, we went to see Deadpool, and so he was like, "All right, no problem. I'll get you next week for the PlayStation episode." And then yesterday morning, he's like, "Oh no!" So I felt bad. Nick is such good people, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Hey,
make
man.
it. I'm gonna make it up to him.
Life happens,
Sam.
man. Life happens.
Yeah, and Sam and the crew. This is just great people. So, but
Absolutely.
welcome and thanks for hanging with us tonight.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate the invite.
No problem. And then to his, well, I guess that's outward left, my right.
Yeah.
Returning also with a professional setup this time.
Yeah. Woo.
He is the PlayStation bra himself, Thomas Williams. What's up, man?
What's up, bro?
What's up, man? You've
What's
got
going
all
on,
kinds
gentlemen?
you got all kinds of great news going on. Everybody is
Yeah.
happy tonight. Everybody.
Life has been hectic the past couple months. that's for
Yeah.
sure.
So
Great news, but very hectic.
all good stuff.
Yes,
And tell us
amen.
all about the bras.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me back on. Most of you guys know me. I'm the PlayStation bro. Just a guy who loves gaming. I mean, I specialize in PlayStation, but at the end of the day, I play on everything. So, no hate, okay? No hate in 2018. I also got a website called
That eight.
Yeah, no hate. I also got the PlayStationBras.com if you're looking for PlayStation news, and because I'm on YouTube, PlayStation Brawl, Twitter, and I'm just glad to be on here tonight, man. Thanks for inviting me back. It's been a while.
It has been.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah, and really, and tonight's a great night for it because what we want to do tonight is we are a week away from E3, guys. 1 week away,
So
and there's a lot going on. There's a lot that's set in stone, but a lot that seems to be floating around now. This is rumors are galore, and it's funny because it took this long for them to all get out. But
Right.
there's some juicy stuff out there if we want to
juicy.
talk about it. But
You don't believe all those leaks, Mike?
not a one of them. Look, I'm gonna say this. It's like the Assassin's Creed leak.
Mhm.
Nobody, no company puts information in the hands of a person that they don't think for a minute is going to get out on social media somewhere. They just don't. Nobody tells their buddy, "Hey, listen, we got a new Assassin's Creed coming out, but do me a favor. I'm going to show you this.
Okay.
You can take a picture of it.
Okay.
But do me a favor and don't tweet it out. Whatever you do.
I would
Come
never-
on." I am the anti insider. I'm sorry. I always will be. I do not believe in insiders. I believe that any information that gets out into the public is out there because the company wants you to. Because imagine this. Right after that, Ubisoft had a little mini movie and a tweet ready to go.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I'm just saying.
You think they have it's like a little Rolodex? Yeah, I said Rolodex. I'm going to date myself. It's like a little Rolodex on the desk. And they kind of like breeze through and go, which one of these gentas do we need to give this to get it out there the fastest?
Right.
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 Who's our leakiest person?
Right.
Right.
Leak.
Hey, Marcus Sellers, what's up, bro?
Right.
Come on, man.
I think there's another Rolodex right next to that one with Marcus's name in it. Like,
Yeah.
this is who we will not give it to.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying this stuff. Because some of the so some of the rumors out there are too funny, especially when you have those internal use only memos.
Oh yeah, terrible.
Right.
That is so phony.
I mean, come on. So let's we can go ahead and get right into it because this is last week we talked about Xbox and to be honest with you, if we have some time, I'd love to get your guys' take on what Microsoft's going to do next week when we see them in the afternoon on Sunday, but concentrate on what Sony's doing, and then some of the stuff that they are rumored to do. So the official word, as we know, is the showcase next week is really going to encompass 4 games. So they're going to show off Death Stranding, which hopefully we get some gameplay, right?
About damn time.
Yeah.
They have to show gameplay at this point. They come with another trailer.
Yeah. Step up. Come on, Konami. I mean, whoa, Kojima, I'm sorry.
Well.
Whoa.
Freudian slip. Well, they not only need to show gameplay, they need to tell us what the hell the game's about. It would be nice to know.
That might be pushing it, Mike.
I know Kojima was talking about that people have used sticks for all this time and something about a rope and I'm serious. There's some book he's basing the game off. Not basing the game, but like the gameplay.
It inspired him or whatever.
2001: A Space Odyssey. I mean,
it's something about rope connecting people, and I've heard something about they don't want people to die in the game, so maybe you're giving life back to the enemies. I don't know. Maybe you're. I don't know.
I know you need Sam here. Sam did a full breakdown on Gaming Perspective last night, and I said if Kojima was with you, he'd probably have a notepad out. He'd be taking notes on his own game the way Sam broke it down, like what he thinks the game is actually about.
Awesome.
You know what? I missed because I typically wait till Monday morning to catch up. So I'm gonna have to check that out tomorrow on my way into work because Sam does good work. So
he did a deep dive on it. He went in.
Yeah.
No.
Here we go. Kojima took a lot of inspiration from a Japanese novella called Rope for the Premise. Called Rope. It's just called Rope.
There we go.
Rope. I'm looking it up now as we talk. Rope, the book. Oh, look. Buying rope at the Home Depot. All right.
Don't forget your Home Depot card, okay, and get some gas points.
Yeah, exactly. So, basically, thinking here is the stick is the object you would use to keep unpleasant or violent things away from you. Think of it as a weapon, even if all you ever do is keep someone at arm's length. And then there's the rope, which you use to shackle things close to you. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's
that might be more insight than I need.
like you know how they had that baby and they connect the baby to him during the different different trailers they've shown. So maybe the baby gives life back to these dead creatures that are roaming around the earth. I don't know, man. It's way out there. He is going way out there.
Well, did you see the picture? I mean, there are some pictures around.
The moss.
Well, not just that, but like all right here, the baby, for example.
Yeah.
So
throw baby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It looks right. So it almost even looks like the Matrix.
Exactly. That was like one of the first things that came to mind.
And that's being held by Guillermo del Toro's character in the trailer.
He was like, "Is this my Oscar award?"
Good thing Joseph Ferris wasn't around.
Wow. Okay. So I don't know. The question is will this game be playable at E3? That's the question.
I would.
I think you will get gameplay, but as far as playable, no, I wouldn't.
If it is playable, I will be the first person in line on Tuesday morning. Okay. I will fight somebody to play that first. Okay.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of fights. So that's right. Yeah. You're going, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's right.
I'm rooming with Sam and most of the
Are you really?
guys. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Sam,
it's my
long flowing hair of his. Sam, can I brush your hair?
Okay. What happens at E3 stays at E3, man. So
now, if you're in a room with all those guys, from what I understand, it's going to be insanity between King David and J-Dub.
Oh, good Lord!
Yeah, just be ready.
Oh Lord!
Like 13 people staying at this beach house or something? Or
oh man,
yeah,
man, that sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
That sounds like something I'd do maybe 20 years ago.
Exactly. Every once in a while, when I think, man, I'd love to go back to E3 again, and I hear stuff like that, like, nope, I aged out.
Yeah.
It's a sausage party too, okay?
I'm just saying, I'd go, but I'd ruin it for everyone else. It'd be 8 o'clock. I'm like, it's about bedtime. Dinner at 4, bed at 8.
I know how you feel, Juan.
Oh my God, got to get that blue light special, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
I'm gonna try to hit it next year, just because I still want to experience an E3 as we still somewhat know it. Because like you said, the time goes on, it's morphing into something different.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still waiting to see what happened. I'm 3 years into my 5-year prediction. I'm still holding strong. Strong. That's something that this thing's gonna turn into another PAX if it's even there.
Well, I know this year they're going to have, I think it's 3 hours early access from the media. So
yeah, because the showcase is only an hour.
That should be interesting,
right? The showcase. No, I'm saying that seriously. This year's E3 showcase is not going to be long because they're only showing the 4 games.
No, they're showing more stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, there's the third-party stuff they got coming too. Yeah,
that was. It was weird because they announced. Sean Layden announced the 4 games, and then like an hour later on the PlayStation blog, they said there'll be indies, third-party, and PSVR content.
Well, what he said was, of course, we'll have stellar announcements from.
Yeah.
It made me. I cannot.
It was confusing.
I cannot remember where I read this. It was something that I had read. It wasn't anything.
What's wrong?
No, I'm just trying to think where I read this that it was only going to be an hour.
I didn't hear about a time limit yet.
I want to say I heard. What did I hear? I heard that. Did I hear that it was an hour? I don't know that it's.
I heard Microsoft's going to be 2 hours.
That I know I heard.
Yeah. It very well could have been somebody on Twitter who was just throwing stuff out there. Because we all know how great Twitter is.
Yeah, right. And like what I was chuckling at, I don't know, I had this thought in my head that eventually E3 is going to do speed passes like Disney World.
Fast pass. Yeah, fast pass. Right, like up here at Herky. Right.
Bro, they're like the Death Stranding line. He's like, I had the fast pass. Of course.
Right, little
baby. All right, that's funny. So, all right, so game 1, of course, was Death Stranding. So, game 2 is one that I have a lot of intrigue in. Hold on, let me make sure I get the right. See, where is it?
Knack 3.
No, every once in a while. So Juan will tell you. Every once in a while, the background clicks something incorrect, and I change the entire background to the picture that I want. So rather than that, I'm very quickly looking for where the image is. Here we go. Next game up on the list is Ghost of Tsushima.
Ooh.
Now,
that's the one that I'm personally most interested in hearing new things about.
Yeah, Sucker Punch, and it's samurai. I mean,
yeah. Isn't it crazy how they went from Sly Cooper to Infamous to feudal Japan?
Right?
Like the evolution of their studio. I mean, I never thought this would when they announced it at Paris Games Week that was going to be their next title. I was completely blown away. I was like, what the? In a good way. I love feudal Japan, so.
Right? Yeah. I think that's what made this one of the most anticipated games that I wanted to see because, like you said, it's not them doing another Infamous. You know, they already have their pedigree as far as, being able to deliver, visually impressive games and just fun games in general. So stepping outside of that comfort zone that they're used to and going into this is very intriguing.
Well, and I love these type of games. The era for me is one that I really enjoy. I like these. they're not. These are the non-shooty bang bang games.
Right.
You have to. Your job here is to either wield your sword, or you see on the back of that guy he's got a bow.
Yeah.
This is like pure. I'm assuming the combat in here is going to be pure goodness, which they haven't shown us yet. But now, hopefully, this is what I hope it's not, though, and I haven't seen anything that says that it is. But what I'm hoping this is not is another Dynasty Warriors type game.
Oh no!
I've had.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah,
No!
I've had enough of those.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case, and I'm hoping it's not going to do like a Neo Souls-ish type thing, which I don't think that'll happen either.
Yeah.
But I do want to throw this guy at you guys. I mean, we talked about this last night. Do you think it's a point-for-point historical samurai game, or would there be like magical elements, like in the vein of an Onimusha or something like that?
I would prefer it to be more like a KCD, more like a Kingdom Come Deliverance with the lack of the fantastical. I mean, I love that whole era. Like, I'm not big into anime, but like, one of my favorite animes is Kenshin. If you've familiar. Anytime you're talking about like the samurai, the end of that time, the whole thing, I'm into that. So yeah, I hope they keep it. I'd like to see it, realistic based.
Mm-hmm. I think it will be. I mean, everything you've seen in the trailers alludes to it being more grounded.
The only thing about that is the title itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like on another screen we had in the background, the something about the font or the design of the title speaks of something not of that era to me. But that's just my opinion.
Oh, that? Yeah,
So it could be like that. I don't know, kind of like the Assassin's Creed thing, where you thought it was going to be completely historical, but they deal with some future presence type of stuff.
I don't know. It's just something about that font or that logo just doesn't scream feudal to me.
Mm.
And it'd be like a one of those kind of cool surprise kind of things maybe. But personally, I'd like to see it stay realistic based. If I were in the market for it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do know. So here's what we do know about it. The game is set in 1274 during the first Mongol invasion of the island of Tsushima, which is an actual Japanese island. There is supposed to be some historical element to this. In fact, I remember seeing somebody, I think it was a Forbes article that said, please don't have giant enemy crabs.
Yeah. No! For the love of God. We've gone down that path before and it didn't work that way.
Yeah, we don't need another Genji. But this is a game that intrigues me a lot, and I'm really hoping that this comes across as more of a... So Neo is cool, but Neo has too much of a Dark Souls feel to me. I'd like something more in the Tenchu line. Something that is straight up, I don't need a lot of crazy RPG. I don't need a lot of crazy leveling up. Let me Juan mentioned, KCD, which is, that's an awesome game to model this after. I could do without all the my samurai needs to sleep for 5 hours.
Right.
Red Warrior needs food. I don't, I just give me something like Tenchu. That's what I've been missing.
What kind of combat would you want? Do you want like hack and slash, or would you want it to harken back to like something like Bushido Blade?
Ooh, Bushido Blade's too realistic.
Yeah, but
stab dead. Oh no.
Now, see, I would take Kingdom Come's combat. I would take that because that has a lot of nice. Juan, what about a combat system from like For Honor?
Yeah, I love the combat system for Honor. I'm sorry, I guess I missed it. This is played in first person?
Don't know.
See, because if it's not, then that's going to be tough for like the For Honor. Well, not For Honor. I'm sorry. The KCD. But yeah, For Honor.
I do not want first person.
Well,
of course. Third person.
I don't know if you
first
guys
person.
have ever heard of an old game. And I'm now on the PlayStation there was Way of the Samurai, which was decent, but there was a PC game a long time ago, and I can't remember what it's called, but it had samurai in the name, and it was sort of a third person behind the back. The combat was, but you were still able to, up, down, left, right, angle, move, draw your blade a certain way, slash a certain way, without it being first person. I just can't remember what the name of the game is. Way of the Samurai is a PlayStation game. I just can't remember what the PC game is. I'm gonna look it up while we're talking. But
what if it's something like Ninja Gaiden? What if it's a little more action and less RPG?
If it's not too fast, I'd like us.
Well, see, I think I could kind of like go with that, like evolve it a little bit. But because the thing with like Ninja Gaiden Combat was very much, you don't want to zig when you should have zagged type of thing. Mm-hmm. So you want something. You don't want the hack and slash that's kind of like just clearing out, the room, and you're kind of just then you're standing in the middle of all the bodies. If it was like a little bit more tactical, like Brad said, you don't want Bushido blade because that's definitely it. Yeah. But something that you want to be a little methodical about how you're approaching your combat.
Well, and that's because and that's the difference between playing as a ninja and playing as a samurai warrior. Samurai warriors were very tactical. They were very that whole combat system is slow, which is why I sort of thought about For Honor, because there's a lot of setup, and there's a lot of samurais are very heavy-handed with their swinging. It's not a lot of what I like to call lightsaber combat, where you're just flinging stuff. I mean that in the way of you're not fencing.
Where you're standing on a conference room table and just swinging your lightsaber back and forth. That's
right.
It's a lot of stance and footwork for the big power swing.
Exactly.
Armor, helmet, whatever.
Exactly. Yep. And so that's what I'm hoping for. Something that gives me the opportunity to be that tactical. And that's I've always watched Juan when his For Honor stuff, and I played that a little bit myself, and there is a lot of tactical, and that's that's third person.
It is. I really love the combat in that game. I really want to get back to it, but I enjoyed that game so intensely. It was like it was like Street Fighter and Dark Souls had a baby, and then it allowed me to dominate people and kick them off of cliffs and dance over them, and it was so great.
That is pretty cool.
So now here's the other question: Ghost of Tsushima, does that come out this year?
No.
There's
way too much coming up this fall to release that game. No. September's packed, October's packed, November's Pokemon now. Yeah.
True.
I'm telling you, maybe next summer.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of our thought process last night on the show. It was like, it'd be like a 2019 game.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, you'll see gameplay at E3, I'm sure.
I think it'll open the show up.
Oh, yeah. Well,
and you'll get a little more, a little bit more of what this game is going to be, what to expect from it. But yeah, it's a 2019 game.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think all the platform holders are getting a little more used to kind of spreading things out a bit. Mm-hmm. Seeing more bigger releases earlier in the year than I think we used to. So
Sam's saying anywhere between May and September.
Yeah. I agree with Sam. That's good timing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, by the way, shout out. What's up, everybody in the chat room? I'm sorry. I always.
You're a little busy, Mike.
Yeah, I spend so much time trying to grab stuff and look stuff up and make sure I know what the hell I'm talking about. I forget that the chat room's there, but they all know that I love them. Super Cooper, Fastback, and I saw Jeff and Annihilator, who
Chief.
by the way, Juan, Annihilator wants to join us for the live conference next week.
Okay.
I told him as long as he could behave, and
Yeah.
he promised me he would behave.
Cool.
So,
Does he go fangirl? Ah!
no,
Oh.
he is a he has grave concerns about Microsoft's viability if this show does
In the
not.
long term. Right.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I mean,
Multi-billion-dollar company.
him and I tease back and forth, but it's not unfair. So he wants to see a good show too. So I told him we'd let him come on. All right, so 2019, somewhere between May and September. He says you guys are saying summer 2019, and you think they're going to open a show with it, which.
Yeah, that's what I was writing a prediction article, but then Sean Layden screwed that up for me, so I totally stopped. I'm like, okay, trash. Come on, Sean. I thought we were friends, man.
Nice.
It was funny because I doing the broadcast, and I think it was that Fridays when they went ahead and announced their E3 plans, and two of my hosts messaged me, "What the hell, man?" I said, "I don't know. I guess we just go ahead with it and we'll just talk about it." He's like, "Yeah, I guess so," but he kind of took some of the fun out of it, But whatever, Sony. You guys owe me for this.
So you think they open with Ghost? 'Cause I was actually thinking they open with Death Stranding.
You think so?
We know what they're going to close with. So
Yeah,
the other three you got to deal with. Yeah. So.
They're gonna close with Parappa the Rapper,
Hey,
the remix.
there we go.
The
I'm down with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have one last surprise for you.
Last surprise.
Yeah.
I gotta believe.
That's right. We fixed the cheap level so it doesn't actually fail you every time.
But I'm a chicken, got it? You beef jerky? I tell you, I still, to this day, I know the lyrics to those songs. It's ridiculous.
I'll just bust out sometimes driving home or something and get on my YouTube.
I cannot confirm or deny I have them ripped as MP3s.
Yeah, I keep a playlist. Sometimes I listen to video game music as a playlist for my YouTube. And let's see, the cooking show and the driving instructions are both in that playlist.
Yes.
Whoa, ho, 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 stop the car.
Yes. Do you know why we stopped the car?
Right.
Do I know why we stopped the car?
I forgot to close the door.
You forgot to close the door. I don't know, man. The soundtrack to the first game was so awesome. The second game is like, okay. Yeah.
I never played that one.
I didn't either. So, and there's this weird story about the guy who plays Parappa, and some guy on the internet that
about it.
sued him for something. It was just weird. I don't know, but anyway, so that they're not showing off Parappa, even though that'd be cool. So
Parappa 3. Oh my god!
All right, third game on the list that we know of course, is Spider-Man. Now, Spider-Man though, did we? And you have to forgive me because I'm drawing a complete blank. Did we get a Spider-Man release date yet?
Yeah, September 7th.
Okay, thank you. Yep. I don't know why I blanked on that. So we've got that, and so we're gonna see probably the final touches of gameplay on that before it, because right after that you're going July, August. At some point, it's got to go gold before September. So hopefully, what we're gonna see is pretty final gameplay code.
I'm hoping Dr. Octopus or Green Goblin, one of those two.
That'd be all right.
Be chasing Doc Ock down a building or something like that. Be kind of cool.
Venom. Any chance of Venom in there?
They've mentioned about him, but I think they've been kind of like, well, we'll see. I don't know.
Well, see, that's the thing. Sam and I have talked about this, and we said, like, for what they've shown, there's definitely something that I feel like they're hiding.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think there's going to be, like, a little bit of, I won't say, like, a bait and switch, but I think there's, like, a deeper thing that's going to kind of happen there. And I kind of thought maybe it was going to be, like, a GTA 5 type thing, where there's, like, 3 maybe, or different story elements going on. Because, again, you don't tease Miles Morales at the end of one trailer and not use Miles Morales.
Right.
Yeah.
But then I think there's going to be something else going on. There's maybe some other character hero that we don't know about.
Well, we know
that you might be able to use.
We know MJ is playable.
Right.
We know that.
That should be interesting.
Some Spider-Gwen going on in there.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Love her costume.
With Wilson Fisk in there, I mean, you could get some Daredevil stuff going on in there because play style wise, he and Spider-Man could be pretty close.
Yeah.
As far as swinging around, combat type of stuff, so
I could see that.
I want all that. That's what I'm saying. You know.
Well, and so we know. Do we know? Because I've looked and I haven't seen. I've seen all the everything you need to know articles, but I have not seen much in the way of all of the villains you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm. So we know Mr. Negative, Kingpin, Shocker. Oh, wasn't there somebody else they showed in concept artwork? I guess not. I'm drawing a blank. Sorry.
I'm drawing a blank too. Sorry.
I mean, do we get the main ones? Do we get? I mean, do we get Goblin? Do we get Ryan? Do we get?
Oh well, we know Norman Osborn is the mayor in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's right. Okay. Almost forgot about that. My bad. So we never know. It could pop up.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like I think they've only given us like a tidbit of what is actually going to be there, because most of what they've always shown or keep showing is usually like the same little bit of combat, a little bit of gameplay, and I think they're keeping some things close to the vest for a good reason.
They need to. Well, so do they?
Thanks, Sam.
All right, so Sam's saying Mr. Negative, Shocker, and Wilson Fisk are the only confirmed villains.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping for Mysterio. But only thing with Mysterio is he's like so close to Scarecrow. I mean, I know he doesn't use the gas, inject you with the gas and all that, but still, it'd be kind of like his scenes would definitely be something else. He'd punk you like, "Oh my God, I can't believe Mary Jane's dead," and then
right,
yeah, dead.
Right.
Oh my Lord.
I don't know.
They could set up a Sinister Six scenario as you go along. It could be. Yeah, I mean. Like we talked about, next to Batman, Spider-Man probably has one of the most interesting rogue galleries.
Amen.
Yes.
So, I mean,
but not a lot of them. But not a lot of them are as mainstream. Like
right.
So I guess it depends on who you're trying to sell the game to. If Mr. Negative and Wilson Fisk are two villains that get your motor running for a Spider-Man game. Over Doc Ock and Green Goblin and Venom, for example.
That's the great thing about games, like as a medium, because certain characters can be so suited to like being introduced and being blown up to bigger proportions in a video game.
True.
Based on what their powers are, their abilities are. How often do you see the Rhino? I mean, we got that Paul Giamatti, just horrible version of the Rhino.
Look at my Rhino armor.
Don't remind me of that. Don't remind me of that.
But a cool Rhino fight was like in Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can
True.
You can take some of those characters and just and have some fun.
I guess I could. Kingpin, I guess.
He's pretty well known in the Daredevil show on Netflix.
And see, that's just it. He was well known, and he's well known in the Daredevil universe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How well known is he in the Spider-Man universe? As far as
he's pretty well known. Remember the cartoon in the '90s? He's one of his main villains.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
there's the awesome thing is they got 55 years of comic books to pull off of.
This is
true.
No, this is true.
Variations of Spidey clones, crossovers. I mean, they could really go all out if they want to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure this game was kind of setting the foundation for sequels and whatnot. So
absolutely.
Well,
just think about all those characters, man. You can the Vulture, you can do the Scorpion, you can do.
Yeah, so that would be the Vulture would be ones we just saw the Vulture in Homecoming. So that would be another good one to have. And it, granted, this does not tie into either Homecoming or Infinity War, so we don't have to worry about any of that. And in fact, it doesn't. In fact, this Spider-Man character is not even close to Spider-Man Homecoming. He's 23 years old, so he's he's the older, wiser Batman.
Yeah. He's so old at 23.
Yes, exactly. So his knees are giving out on him already. And...
Yeah. I can't do this no more, Mary Jane.
Sorry. Okay, so I mean, you gotta. I guess it's even worth showing a whole lot since it's coming out. I mean, people are hyped for it anyway. This is a game that you don't have to show jack. You could just
it's going to sell millions. Yeah,
you could just show a picture of it, and that'd be it, and you're good.
Pretty much.
So all right, so we have that. And then what we know they're going to end the show on, The Last of Us 2.
Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
people are going to flip the burp out, man.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you.
So
they went nuts for the teaser trailer at PSX 2016. Let alone seeing, the true legit gameplay finally. People are going to be, oh my God. Look at the clickers.
Great. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, so full disclosure, not for any reason other than I just haven't played Last of Us.
Oh man.
I know. Not because
go outside and pick a Switch.
No, Daddy.
I guess we're gonna have to do the thing where we cut each. I'm gonna have to cut one for Mike. He's gonna have to cut one for me. Like that's what my grandparents did.
Yeah.
Me and my cousin.
No. Eric got it. My grandparents on my father's side were from Texarkana, Texas. That's exactly what my grandmother would do. She would go get it.
Yep.
And I'd have to go get my own Switch.
Walking the mile.
Yep.
Right. Used to summer with my grandparents with my cousins, and you coming up, you get these little scrapes or whatever, little scrapping sessions, and we got into about something, and Grandpa's like, "All right, both of you go cut a Switch, and for the other guy." Right. So we're both going. We come back with these switches, and then he swaps them. He's like, "All right, now bend over, yours." We learned.
And you look at that wall like, that was too green, Juan. Put it down. That was too green.
We weren't smart enough to cooperate. We were trying to do each other in.
Trying that move where you come in with a really dry one. Like, nah, go back.
It reminds me of an old joke my father told me once. He said there were two guys that escaped from prison, and they got caught, and then when they came back, their punishment was 10 lashes. And the warden said, "Well, we have a more advanced, progressive prison here, so you could pick something to put on your back to protect you from the lashes. Just something. It can't be like wood or something like that. It can be some light substance." So the first guy, big burly guy, says, "I don't need anything. Hit me." So whips him 10 times, and he doesn't even flinch. Says, "All right, what do you want?" Little timid little guy says, "On my back, I want that guy."
Yeah. Genius.
Yeah. So that's all right. It got so bad. I used to be so bad when my mother used to just look at me and I'd go get the wooden spoon. I just go, yeah. So anyway, this is another 2019 game, obviously.
Oh, definitely.
Obviously, unless.
I think it could even be early 2020.
Yeah.
Depending. I mean,
this is going to be on the next one.
Hmm?
It's going to be on the next one, or is this a PlayStation 4 game, or is this a PlayStation 5 game?
I think it's still a PlayStation 4 game, but I could definitely see it being the last one, where
The Last of Us Part 2 remastered.
Right, it's the game that pretty much closes it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the game that closes it out, but then you'll see it again on the PS5. You know,
Sounds right.
Along with, yeah.
unless there is the backwards compatibility thing on PS5, we'll see that. But yeah, I can see it being 2020.
Well, that's what Sam's saying. May 2020. By the way, a shout out to a relevant native who said his mom grabbed vacuum cords and extension cords.
Yeah, I know, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I just told him. I said I never got that, but I had cousins that got it.
Woo! I have never gotten an extension cord before. I've gotten belts, I've gotten switches, I've gotten wooden spoons. I have never gotten an extension cord. Woo!
And we would put the hood sling on it, so it wasn't an extension cord; it was a extension cord, which sounds even worse.
Oh wow!
You got the extension cord? Yeah. So yeah, I never got that. That's no joke.
No joke. So.
Did you guys get the whole like? Do we need like you'll be in public and maybe start ad time as a kid and they're like, do we need to go outside? Do we need to go out?
Oh yeah,
to the car?
I got that.
Oh god. Oh god.
Yeah, that was what it was.
No,
yeah.
I didn't get that pleasantry. While my mom said, if you ask for one thing again, I'm knocking you out in the store. And I asked, and she turned around and gave me like a quick pop to the stomach. Like,
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while, I would say, I will embarrass you right here in front of everybody. But no, my go-to with my kids are, do I need to take you outside for a minute?
No, Daddy, no.
Daddy.
You use foul language in front of a lady.
No, Daddy, no.
I think the best my mom ever got me because I was a lazy high schooler, right? And I decided I wasn't going to go to school that morning, so I'm laying in bed. I got my hands up, like this, all laying back, and she opens the door. Get up. No, I'm not going today. And normally there'd be some kind of discussion. There'd be some kind of I was ready for the debate. And she's just, all right then, walked out. And I'm like, oh, well, that was easy. I closed my eyes. Next thing I know, the flat of the broom, like those angle brooms, those angle sweeping brooms, the flat of it.
Oh, no.
All right, I'm up.
You lazy piece of...
Right. Not a word. Came in quietly, just whap. But
people popping in the podcast right now going, what the hell are they talking about?
Yeah,
Who's getting whipped in The Last of Us?
Yeah.
Ellie!
Welcome to the corporal punishment.
But yeah, no, I think it all got started when I was saying that we'd have to kind of switch for each other because I actually, the last PlayStation I owned was a PlayStation, and I loved it to death. But when it died, I went to PC, and I was basically only PC for a number of years, and then PC and Xbox, and now I'm mostly Xbox and Switch because my PC is just old. But I never got back into. I never owned another PlayStation because I was in the Marines. And I had Marine roommates that had them, so I always had access to like a PS2. So I got to play a lot of those great games and such. But yeah, so I got away from being a PlayStation owner after my original died. Love that thing intensely though.
Yeah, mine died too. I just never replaced it, but yeah.
Did it die from years of abuse? Oh my god, quit playing all these huge RPGs on me. That was me on my PS1, dude. Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, Tactics, Suikoden 1 and 2.
Mine would
Star Ocean.
I wouldn't play disc unless it was on its side.
Yep.
Mine got that. I had to turn mine upside down.
Yep, the upside down.
Flip it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One cool thing about that old, because mine was a day one, right? I got it, I got a day one. I got I had my driver's license. I must have been just 18 or so because it was my first, Master Blaster purchase. I got a credit card. Sure thing, Best Buy. Here it is. Just sign me up. I'm going to walk out with a bunch of games. But yeah, the day one, it had a thing that I think they put out in different versions. But being in the service with it, I had friends that would go over to Okinawa, Japan, and I'd have them bring me back discs from that region because you could trick the thing into playing them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I was playing like Clock Tower and. Playing I couldn't read a damn thing in it, but Time Crisis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was so great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I used to have to. I would open it up. I would put it. How did it go? I would open it up and play an American disc in the music player, and then trick it to think the door was closed, and leave the player having put the Japanese disc in, and it wouldn't do another check for the disc. It would just start playing it.
Oh wow! Okay.
I remember that.
I got mine modded.
Ooh.
At one point. And yeah, I would be at Best Buy, not Best Buy, at Blockbuster, constantly just renting stuff and burning it.
There you go.
Nice.
I'm like, ooh, Barbie Horse Adventure.
Yeah, I just took a toothpick and I wedged it in the door button. The button that the door hit when it closed. I just wedged it in there so that it would think it was closed and I could just play Japanese games because I put a toothpick in it.
Wow.
Oh, man. Those days. You didn't even have to do that with the Dreamcast. It was like, hey, I'll play it.
Yeah, I had 50 burnt games. I had a big old stack of burnt games for my Dreamcast, man.
Oh,
Sorry,
man.
Sega.
Yeah.
Man, now we've come to the pirate podcast.
Yeah.
I can't confirm or deny that my Game Genie disc didn't do that with PS2 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's how I did a lot of preview code for back in the day for PS2 games when third parties would send us stuff. We'd put the Game Genie disc in and you'd run it for a second and then you ejected it at the right time and then you could put the other disc in and it'd be fine. It worked. So it's how we got shit done back then.
Well, that was, I wasn't making a lot of money as a private, but since I have now a gainfully employed adult, my piracy days are over. But
yeah, see all these before user interfaces and systems and all that OS and all that stuff. Just pop a disc in, pop a cartridge in, and that was it. Let's go.
Yep.
Man.
Well, that's the great thing about retro. I still play my Genesis and my SNES and my PlayStation 1 because I have another one now. I play them on the regular because you can just pop it in and play it.
Yeah, I'm planning to replace a couple things in the future here.
And those old games, I don't
have my OG anymore. I don't have my OG Xbox anymore. That died on me.
Oh. What happened? The hard drive or the...
No, the disc. The disc tray just kind of went out, and then the power... what do you call it? The power, whatever.
The power supply.
Yeah, the power supply burned out. I was just like, yeah. So it became the property of GameStop at some point. I rigged it just enough to where it would fire up for them. Hey, again, younger days, not so proud, but hey. But yeah,
what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly.
What you got to do. So
we were talking about The Last of Us, weren't we?
Back to The Last of Us 2, which could be the last of Us. So, Rick is drunk tweeting. He's drunk chatting tonight.
Hashtag Mike.
I know.
To
Mike
be let
go.
Oh, the last of Mike.
Hashtag Mike should be fired.
Rick is drunk chatting right now.
Fantastic.
Mike eats French fries with mayonnaise.
Okay, now those are Those are fighting words right there.
I say, what is wrong with that?
Yeah.
With mayonnaise?
Yeah. Well,
remember, man.
Oh, thank you.
Remember I had that
Canadian? What?
We're getting Mike the
there we go.
cake.
Mike and the damn Valkyries. Oh, we'll talk about that. Oh, so The Last of Us 2.
Mike and the Valkyries sounds like a terrible band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we play is Freebird. No!
I think we got down on the corporal punishment thing because you and Juan had to go pick switches because you haven't played Last of Us 1.
Right, man.
I think Juan's trying to say he doesn't have access to it, but I would implore you, if you can get access to one just to play it, do that.
Very few games draw me in like The Last of Us did, man. I remember sitting there and you get into one room, there's 3 clickers in there, and I miss holding my controller, just hunched over like, oh my god, my knuckles would just. I could have broke my controller just because it got so intense. I mean,
you hear that noise, and it's like,
uh-oh.
Yeah, it's one thing when a zombie, comes slowly romping over to you, but it's another thing when one hears you and comes bolting at you on the other side of the room. You're like, shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So
my wife was watching me play one time, and she was okay. Try this. So we did that. And all of a sudden, a clicker came and got me. I'm like, no!
Right.
Why didn't you stop him? I said I didn't have a shiv. I couldn't stop him. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I could rent the game from my library.
You got a backseat gamer, huh?
Oh, she's...
I
love her to death. Love her to death. Sometimes
yeah. But playing that game, just the opening sequence on that game, I just remember sitting back like, wow. this is what we're getting ready to do. Okay, you know,
Oh, the first
Kira
one?
and I, whole nine. Yeah, the first one. So,
All right, so
yeah.
well, now that I'm done with God of War, maybe
Do you like Naughty Dog games, Mike? Are
I
you a
do.
Naughty Dog fan?
Uncharted.
Okay, then-
Uncharted is or as Frankie knows, Uncharted. Uncharted is
Uncharted.
my Uncharted is one of my is one of my all time favorite franchises.
Okay, then yeah, you'll be down with The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I kind of figure. They draw some similar tones as far as the from what I see.
A lot of
finding a lot of
boosting up your teammate and moving trash cans to get over stuff and
Yeah.
a lot of the Sony
And Last of
push.
Us 2 is supposed to be taking like a darker tone, which is crazy when you think about from the first game to this one. It's supposed to be darker.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be about hate and anger, you know. So that's going to be an interesting tone.
and revenge.
So
Yeah.
revenge.
I'm gonna kill them all. You tell them, Ellie.
So, right.
No.
So yeah, definitely play it, Mike.
Okay. All right. So it will. But they're gonna close the show with that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be huge,
definitely.
man. People
Yeah.
gonna lose their minds.
Yes.
And like Sam just said in the chat, you know, he said we need to see some infected animals in part 2, and I want to like second that and say in this one, you know, there definitely needs to be, they need to up the ante as far as enemy types. You know, let's see how this world has evolved even more. You know,
Right.
Oh,
What? Mike won't play.
relatives being mean.
relevance is savage.
Dude.
Oh.
If it was on sale for cheap enough on Amazon, I'd buy you a digital code. But I kind of need the money right now.
They
for
honestly,
E3.
they honestly have it at the library. Like they've got a
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
My local library has a great. Actually, they have a really great selection of games. So, man, I am just getting teed off on tonight.
If you play it, you need to stream it. I want to see your reaction to some of the moments.
Okay.
See go into these rooms full of like 10 monsters, and you're like, what the hell do I do?
I have one bullet.
You slowly start figuring out, throw a brick over here, distract them so they go to that corner, run over here real quick, break this guy's neck, it's
Try not to set them off,
yeah, the sound.
Okay. Well, look, I've got at least a year and a half to play it before
That's true too.
it comes out.
I love using the bow, Eric, once you get that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can just pull it back, power it up, and bam, shoot one of the guys in the head, they go flying to the ground.
Mhm.
Oh, too much fun. Now I want to play it again, but it's packed up with mod.
Mike, you're going to be shocked when they talk about The Last of Us 2 and say, and it's available today.
Today, right?
Right. Megaton.
You're right.
Oh, that's a megaton, all right.
So I know. Okay, so getting back to this. Why aren't they showing Days Gone?
They just did a reveal with it, Game
I
Informer.
know they did, but why aren't they showing?
2.5 hours of footage.
And it wasn't good, from what I understand.
I think
that's a part of it. Go ahead, bro.
Eric was saying, I think there'll be a release date trailer or something there, but it won't be more than 2 or 3 minutes long.
Right. And I think a part of that is because they gave that feature to Game Informer.
Yeah.
And I think it's like they don't want to oversaturate it. Like they showed it, I think they got their feedback, so now it's time to go away and make the repairs. That people are kind of like,
It was running funny.
Yeah. So I mean the going into it with Game Informer, I think that was some pretty good coverage. But as far as kind of what they went out there with, maybe they're showing a little too much of it so far. There's definitely something I think they need to go back and look at.
Would you want to show Days Gone and The Last of Us?
No, and then that's another thing with releasing. That's why I was kind of thinking Days Gone is going to be next year. I'm thinking that's why I think Last of Us 2 will be 2020.
Oh.
Because while I think tonally those games will be different, they're still dealing with the same kind of subject matter, zombies. So
they couldn't be any more different.
yeah, definitely. But still, you kind of get, you don't want to like exhaust people, Yeah.
Another zombie game.
Right.
Right.
That's not right because nobody else is doing zombie games. Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Why can they just? Can we just put zombies in Battlefield? Be done with it too. Just battle royale zombies. That should. There you go. Battle royale zombies. There it is. So.
Yep. Put your hands together. Do we have battle royale or do we have zombies?
Yeah, both.
Whoa!
You got battle royale and my zombies. You got zombies in my battle royale.
Oh my god!
Royale.
Walking Dead battle royale.
Yeah. Royale with cheese.
Right.
All right. So, right, and as Frankie's saying, H1Z1 too, which is another one. So.
Still K2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's not on PlayStation.
True. It's just another zombie.
It is. It's
title.
another zombie game.
What did Juan say? I didn't hear him. I'm sorry.
State of K2. There's just another zombie title out there.
I was playing that the other night.
Yeah, I was playing last night.
Yeah, my son killed somebody. My son's like, hey, can I play for a second? I'm like, yeah, sure. Oh, I died. I'm like, no! Wait, once they're dead, they're gone. He's like, oh. We'll go play some Cuphead.
Yeah, I don't have children, but I had a similar kind of thing happen when I let a buddy play my save on. I was trying to show off my Steel Battalion, and I'm like, "Hey, play Steel Battalion," and he got my save permadeath. Like, that's that mech game, and if your pilot doesn't get ejected, and he was slow getting ejected, so he died, and it wipes your save. There goes my I'm like, the red button. Nope, blew up.
Oh.
You know, I had
that
that set up for a while, but I never played it. I had
it's
Yeah, the whole deal.
somebody gave it to me,
Wow.
and I didn't have my Xbox at the time, so I'm like, what am I going to do with this? I'm like, I guess I could trade it or sell it. Now I'm like, oh man, why did I do that?
See?
That thing. It came in like the huge crate and the whole nine, right?
Yeah, it was
Yep.
super crazy.
I wish Xbox still took risks like that.
Yeah, I don't think you'll get that anymore.
That was
That's
a $200
that's-
game,
Right.
that came with a controller that was good for one game.
Right.
One, two,
And there wasn't even like a sequel to that game, right?
There was, but the problem with the sequel was that it didn't have a proper campaign. So the only way you could play it was online, and so few people had it in the States that if you went on, it was mostly you were playing with people overseas, and a lot of times as soon as you spoke and you weren't one of them, they'd just kill you, regardless of what team you're on. So the online, that wasn't great.
Mm-hmm. No, that's too funny, man. I remember when I saw that thing, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I break it out. I break it out almost annually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great game. It definitely has its age on its visuals, but it's a good challenge, and it's a really ambitious mech simulator for the platform.
Mike, can you pull an image of it?
Say again?
Can you pull an image of the Steel Battalion setup?
You'll see it. You know what? You'll see it in the video for the
Okay, I see. Okay, there we go. Right.
I will always leave that in there. Trust me. So, okay. So we've gone through all that. We've gone through Days Gone. I wanted to bring this picture up because we talked about this at the very beginning. All the rumors and leaks and nonsense.
Leaks.
Yeah. So remember how I say you never want to believe something that says for internal use only.
Yeah.
So,
Internal use.
okay, kids, what's wrong with this picture? Number
What's not wrong?
Number one, I doubt very highly that the presenter for this showcase is going to be John Cadero. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure he'll make an appearance, but this is Sean Layden's show.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. I said, okay, John, he might be there, but this is not his show.
Exactly.
Yeah, sorry. No offense, Sean.
Plus, Yu Suzuki has already said multiple times Shenmue 3 is not going to be at E3.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be no demo. Who believes a BioShock PSVR game? No offense to PSVR, but who believes that?
Ty.
Could we see Bloodborne 2? Possibly. I don't think that's unreasonable. I don't think it's unrealistic, rather.
Big third-party announcement, right?
Yeah. Why would we see Spyro Reignited? It's coming out in July. And it's not exactly a big, giant game. And it's a multiplat. Okay, so they have. I mean, Shuei Yoshida has said multiple times they have no interest in bringing back SOCOM. So are we getting a SOCOM?
I don't understand why they won't bring it back. I mean,
I don't either.
I know the last one they released
SOCOM was so
kind of
freaking good.
Yeah, those first 3 games were bestsellers. I mean, people still talk about them.
I even have the PSP SOCOM.
Wow.
I mean, SOCOM to me was like right there with Rainbow Six, as far as like tactical shooters went. Like this was before, Ghost Recon and all that stuff. For me, SOCOM was just unbelievable. And when you put your headset on and you had to push to talk, and it sounded like an actual walkie-talkie in your head,
Mm-hmm.
I mean that kind of stuff was killer. But it was great because it forced people to work together. There was no, like the original SOCOM, there was no lone wolfing in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not dissing Ghost Recon. Everybody knows how much I love Ghost Recon, especially the Advanced Warfighter series. But SOCOM was on its own, like its own level. But I mean, are we getting it? Yeah, he keeps saying no.
Oh,
I don't think. I think SOCOM is coming again, but it's not going to be at SD3.
Oh, PSX. That's more for the fans.
Yeah, maybe, but PSX last year wasn't big on announcements.
Yeah, they blew their load at Paris Games Week.
Right, which is where
Oh, wait a minute. It was like, oh, wait a minute, the Xbox One X is coming out. Let's do all these announcements before that,
Well, Paris Games Week is a great conference for them because
it is, yeah.
They have the floor to themselves, basically.
Right.
Like Microsoft doesn't seem to have any interest in it. Their focus is E3,
America.
and then they've come to Gamescom pretty correct the last couple years, but I don't know. Like I said, Yoshida has said multiple times they just don't have any interest in bringing SOCOM back. So it's another reason I don't believe this list.
PUBG.
But under Codera, they could walk that back.
Possibly.
So I mean,
and in a Spider-Man PSVR mode.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I don't think. Yeah. So. This is what happens. This is what happens when you guys believe insiders.
I don't believe that. I'm
not saying you. Okay? I'm not saying you guys on the panel. I'm just saying this is what. This came from 4chan, so this right here should tell you that it is a bunch of garbage. So
yeah, this is like a rambunctious kid writing a Christmas list.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've seen them for. The only company I don't think we've seen anything like this for is Nintendo. No one knows what Nintendo's doing other than Pokemon.
Yeah, you rarely do.
So, plus, I mean, when have you ever seen Sony stuff get leaked? I mean, let's be honest. They are so their stuff is so close to the chest every year that to see something like this automatically tells me it's bullshit.
That's fair.
So. I just don't believe it for a minute. Now, about the show itself, something that they said, like everybody else, they wanted to do something different. Are we getting? And Sam can probably tell us. He's probably got the. Actually, you could probably tell us, Thomas, because you're going to this. I'm assuming.
Oh, the press conference?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't get an invite. I'm not good enough. I'll be at Microsoft's press conference thanks to the FanFest giveaway. I won a ticket to the FanFest.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll be at Microsoft's, but no, I will not be at Sony's, unfortunately.
They looked at it and said, oh, we got to give one to PlayStation Bra.
No. There's people online saying, oh, yeah, Sony sent me an invite. I don't believe them. But no.
Well, I guess what I was wondering was, so this answers 2 questions for me. Is Microsoft's different way of doing their conference that they claimed they were doing was going to be live in front of a studio audience or not. I guess the answer to that is yes. What is Sony's going to be live in front of a studio audience?
Yeah, there's plenty of people that got invited.
Okay.
So, I mean, I know plenty of big wig gaming media guys that got an invite. Not named me.
Not named you. So
I tried, man.
And the other question too is, is this going to be like their standard conference, or does this look like it's gonna slide? Sam says half the people saying so.
Yeah, I don't.
Lying. Are they gonna slide this more towards a PSX style sit down?
See, I like the PXL, the PXX sit down. That was kind of cool.
I thought it was too.
Learning about the games, but I don't think it'll work too well for E3.
Does it play that well on the stage?
Yes, thank you. E3 is more about, look at this, look at this, look at this, and PSX was more about, hey, let's go into this game and look at this. I mean, I know they're doing the deep dives, but I don't think they'll be so as deep as the PSX 2017.
Yeah, it's fast firing. Yeah.
Well, especially
E3's fast firing.
Especially if it's only going to be 60 to 75 minutes. If that is true, they've got to get through that. Which is the other reason I don't think that list is true, because that list doesn't even look like you can get through in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
No.
So
no. I can see some I see some of the deep dive couch interviews for pre-show or post type stuff to go in a little Treehouse style, Nintendo Treehouse style. But yeah.
Because I think the big 4 games will be 10 to 12 minutes each, and then VR games, some indies, third party, maybe some Capcom, Resident Evil 2 remake. I do believe the Resident Evil 2 remake is going to be at E3.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time they'll finally show that. That's one of the most popular Resident Evil games ever. It's my personal favorite.
Speaking of VR,
I just picked that one up a couple days ago.
What's that? What?
That RE2. I played it back in '98 whenever I had the PlayStation. I was so happy to get a copy. Dude.
Great game.
Speaking of VR, are we going to see another slate of VR games? It seems like that has begun to dry up quicker than I thought it would.
They announced 6 or 7 last week on the blog.
I'm looking at the blog now. Hold on.
Creed game.
I heard about Creed.
Yeah, which looks really cool.
But let's see.
Invasion or something like that. Infusion or
Astrobot, Firewall,
Astrobot.
0 Hour, Blood and Truth, Evasion, and Vacation Simulator.
Yeah. Astrobot was great on the play. You have the Playroom VR, don't you, Mike?
I do.
Did you play the Astrobot game in
it?
The mini game? It. I was excited when they announced that as a full game. I'm like, hell yeah!
Yeah, I was wondering why that wasn't a full game. So much fun. It was. So that and Moss proved to me that you could do platformers in VR.
Yeah.
So that proved to me that you could, when I originally thought, how can you do anything besides first-person games and racing and stuff like that? And that little demo, that was so cool. So. I mean, and this is great. I'm talking about the heavy hitters.
Even Sony was saying that the PSVR is doing good, but the VR gaming market's starting to cool off. There's plenty of indies. There's 5 PSVR games that come out this week. So there's plenty of PSVR titles coming out, but it's not from EA or Ubisoft or the big companies. It's more the indies and the mid-tier developers. So I understand what you're saying. I understand your concern. It's definitely there.
And I hope. I mean, I'm hoping for it because there's mine.
Yeah.
I wonder where I got that from.
Hell. I mean, Mr. PSVR's done 90 reviews for the site.
He has. No. And
there's plenty of PSVR titles. But yes, I understand your concerns.
It just seems like it does seem like they're what we're getting is okay, the Creed game just seems like another experience game. How I don't know.
I know Blood and Truth. Blood and Truth can be a full-fledged game.
That one is yes. Because that's the same studio that did London Heist.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
So
definitely down.
And then like I said, Vacation Simulator.
I get what you're saying, man. It's
I'm hoping that the bigger third parties start kicking back in on this because I think they need to.
because Ubisoft had a bunch of a bunch of VR titles, and now it's kind of like, oh, here's some Star Trek DLC.
Right.
And I kind of, oh, never mind.
Right. Even though
that's kind of how it goes, though.
But I've heard great things about Star Trek Simulator. I do need to play it. Oh, Super Cooper likes it. So, but it's just weird because, like I said, they're I don't know. This seems like from the E3 blog, it just didn't. It just seemed like, oh, here's our great 4 games we're showing, and then here's some other third-party publishers and independent stuff, and PSVR is kind of like a side note. And I'm just hoping that what I'm hoping is it doesn't become the side note that like the Vita's become. You don't even hear about the Vita now.
Hey.
I'm not.
There's still PS Vita titles coming out till 2019.
I hear you.
Not too bad. 7 years of support.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But they're not talking about the Vita anymore.
No, it's the Vita?
Right.
Oh, yeah, we had that in Japan.
Exactly. It's the on-again, off-again love affair with the Vita.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think what was their last time having Vita on stage was, E3, is it 2016?
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Yeah.
Like, Gio was trying.
Yeah. Does that count? Didn't Sean Layden say something about it at the last one? Like, didn't he say something about the Vita games and was it a shirt? Maybe I can't remember.
Yeah, but I think
I'm getting old, I guess.
What they said was never anything that we're doing this game for the Vita. It was always this indie game is coming with crossplay on PS4 and PS Vita.
This indie's being remade for the Vita with cross support. Yeah, okay, cool.
Right.
Yeah, right.
It was a way to give it some life, but then they kind of just stopped bringing it on stage altogether. So, yeah. Now they're talking about the next handheld, right?
Right. They're right.
Let's not go there. Okay, let's not go there.
It's called the Fitch.
Right. Right. You have to do some sleuthing at E3.
Remember they patented that one little design years ago where it had the 2 joysticks. Remember? Do y'all remember seeing that a few years ago?
I remember that.
Yeah, it looked like Switch.
Yeah. Was it before? It was before the Switch was announced, though, wasn't it?
It was before the Switch came out.
Right.
No, it came out. Okay.
Yeah, and people were like, "Oh my God, you ripped the Switch off!" It's like, I don't know. It depended on who you talk to. It was kind of like, well, no, they already had the patent ready to go. But it kind of died really fast. You didn't hear anything after. You didn't hear much about it after that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one last question.
The PlayStation swap. There we go.
Let's swap.
Swap it out, bruh. Wow.
They gotta get if they ever do that, you've got to be their spokesman for that.
Instead of a snap,
swap it out, bro.
Yeah, swap it out. Come on,
right, instead of Switch.
Yeah.
Instead of a click, it's swap it out.
Sorry, I apologize.
No, it's okay.
No need.
So one more question. Maybe something that they maybe don't talk about at the showcase, but maybe tease during the week. We know last month that John Cadera told everybody that the PS4 is coming to the end of the life cycle. We just talked about whether or not The Last of Us 2 is going to be a PS4 or a PS5 game. Do they say anything about the PS5 next week?
I think I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I don't
think so either.
I mean, it didn't hurt Microsoft. They announced the S and then the X in the same conference, and people were like, "Okay."
I don't think it'll hurt it, but I don't think they need to.
Nah.
Yeah.
I think PS4 is still selling.
I think that Microsoft kind of had to do the double because they were announcing the S, and if you're going to announce the S and have the X the next year, you have to announce it at the same time. Otherwise, you're going to get they didn't announce the X, to get as many people to buy the S as possible before they announced the X. They
It becomes the 32X and Saturn conversation.
Yeah, definitely. They had to do both. Had to.
Oh. But you're right. Sony's not in a position where they need to do this. But the question is to keep people intrigued, because we do have the X out there. And it's kind of Sony's turn now. I mean, I think we're going to hit this cycle.
Well,
I don't think we're in a position where, and this is just me, you guys can disagree, I don't think we're in a position where consoles are going to launch against each other anymore.
Right. Didn't Forbes say, like, they had their opinion guy say, like, I don't know, 30 minutes after that came out, that he was cool not getting anything on the 5? I think he wrote an article about, like, how the Pro is doing well for him. He doesn't need to hear anything about the 5.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the 5. I mean, if there's news about it, awesome, because I'll get plenty of clicks on my site. But to be honest with you, but for now, it's like, okay, I'm good. I'm satisfied. There's plenty. I have too many games to play at the moment. My backlog just keeps backlog, please. You guys know how it is.
Yep. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think you see or hear anything from them about the PS5 until next year.
Yeah.
And it may not even be at E3 next year. It could be like a Paris Games Week PSX thing,
Right.
Yeah, I just don't. I think they have like too much that they're trying to get ready to roll, like with these games that will start closing out the generation.
Right.
And I think they kind of want to go hand in hand. I definitely think they're going to try to play up the PlayStation 25, the 25th year anniversary thing. So I think they'll leave it for that.
Well, and that could be a good place to announce it. The 5 at 25.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Right along with the swap.
The swap, man. Swap it out, bro.
Swap it out. That's gotta be. You've got to be the one. That has to be you.
I come on stage. You guys are cheering. Yeah. We know that.
We know the right. Don't forget Don't forget us little people, man.
Yeah. So this is for you, Mike.
Swap it out. Well, when did the Pro come out? It came out 2016, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 17, 18, 19, 20. If it came out 2020, that's 4 years after. That's actually not horrible. 4 years after the Pro. It would just be, it would be interesting. I think everything went out the door when we started talking about iterative consoles 2 years after the consoles came out. So to me, talking about the console now doesn't really. I don't think it hurts them. I think if they came out and said, "You guys know we're working on the PS5, maybe do a little reel with the developers, like Microsoft did." I don't think I thought that was. I thought Microsoft doing that was smart, because even though you had nothing to show gameplay wise, you had developers that were excited about the platform, which is what you want. So, it's just for me, if they did it, it would just simply be momentum keeping.
Right. But what wouldn't make it iterative is if there's a cutoff, like the PS5 games work on the PS5. Like there is no backward forward type of thing. There'll be backwards compatibility, but I think that kind of harkens a new generation if something is not,
Yeah, I mean, if they can say this is a game that can't be played on the previous hardware, that's
I just don't think that's going to happen. And honestly, let's say their next system is the next natural move up with the Ryzen AMD processor and all that kind of stuff. That is, I think, where we are now, and I've said this before. I think we're done with the manufacturers moving to different styles of hardware. Like, the Xbox went from a PlayStation or Pentium 3 processor to a PC, a Power PC Pro, which was a whole different architecture, and then came back to with the Xbox One, came back to PC architecture. Same thing with the PlayStation. The PlayStation went from their custom hardware to the Motion Engine to whatever to the hell was that ran on the third the core, and
Cell
then
chip.
right, and then right where you can save lives, and then went to PC hardware. I think we're in that realm of sticking in PC hardware, because you got to remember that PC market's still out there for ports and things like that. So I think no matter what happens, everything's going to be backward compatible for a long time. I don't know that there's going to be much, and I think Microsoft's going to do the same thing. I think they're going to have the ability for all of your Xbox One games to play on the next console without any kind of emulation, because I just think there's not much wiggle room you're going to have there unless you move to totally different architecture.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think you're always going to get like that BC thing. I think it's kind of one of those things that's important. It's kind of here to stay. I definitely think Sony's looking at what Microsoft is doing with it, and I think they'd be crazy not to have PS4. At least right now, PS4 backwards compatibility with PS5, considering the architecture. But I think even if you're going to do iterative consoles, you're going to get to a point, just like with cell phones, where you have to have a cutoff. This game just is not going to run here anymore.
Well, or it'll run in a very base mode. Like seriously, how many games on the Apple Store can't run on an iPhone 4 that can run on a 6 or a 10 or whatever the hell they're on? I mean, I'm pretty sure that most of that stuff can run. Some of it just doesn't run as well.
Oh no, there are definitely games where the developer will tell you that this game will not run on your iPhone 5 or 6 or whatever. What was that game? I don't know. Juan, maybe you can help me with this. What was that sword combat game?
Was it Divine Sword of Divinity or Divid? I can't.
It was like what you mean. Yeah, it's like a third-person perspective, and it's almost like a boss rush mode type game.
Oh, from Epic Games?
Yeah.
Oh, I had it on my iPad. It was the first game I bought for my iPad because it looked so damn good for iPad.
It was badass when it came out. Epic made it.
Yeah,
damn, I'm drawing a blank on that. Infinity Blade?
There you go. Good job. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was a game that said they had the first version of it that ran, but then when they started to do they got into the second. I think they did 3 games on that, but the second one they were like, no, this will not work on your iPhone 4 or whatever the case may be. This is built iPhone 5 in mind, or iPhone 6 or whatever version they were on at that point. But it's just like with operating systems and phones. Eventually they have a cutoff. They're like, this one's going to be holding us back on this. We have to. You can keep rocking with that one, but we have to have a point where, we keep going forward. I think that's just a natural progression with technology. It's just going to happen. You may have the same architecture, but eventually, you just have to kind of say, okay, yeah, we have to move it forward. And then you may keep the backwards and forwards through certain iterations. Like this new one does this, the one right behind it still could do it. The one that you still may have, the third one, just can't do it. You just have to keep moving forward.
And it'll be interesting to see if that happens.
We're in uncharted waters with this iterative console stuff.
Yeah,
this is all new.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, because I know the Ryzen AMD chips have been out now for when they came out in 2017. I don't think there's anything that I don't think they needed updated versions of games to play forward. So I'm just wondering. I'm just not. Yeah, it's hard to know because we haven't gotten there yet. But right. I would be shocked. If there was any kind of emulation mode that had to be done for these. I think because the code. I think the code moves from Jaguar to Ryzen without emulation, and so that's what they might do is they may have to run it in different modes, like a PC game where you have to turn shaders on and off and things like that, and the system might know how to do that without you picking it. But I think a lot of I would be surprised if 100% of the library wasn't forward moving and it didn't require Sony to emulate them like Microsoft does.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole reason behind Microsoft having to do emulation for the 360 is again because you are totally different architecture. It has to run within an emulator. I would be shocked if the next PS and the next Xbox had to run emulators to run the current games.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it.
Yep, same here. I wouldn't. Because, I mean, you have the PS4 emulating, PS2, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, the emulation, you kind of have to use that in those situations. But yeah, I think going forward, I don't think you'll have that. So.
Okay.
Anyway, but like I said, I still think PS5 gets talked about next year, with it maybe releasing 2020. Like fall. Or maybe even earlier, who knows? But I think it'll be a 2020 system. Because by then, the Pro is 5 years old? 4
Yeah.
5? Yeah.
I think by 2020, the Pro will be the Slim. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be no more Slim, just buy the Pro, and it'll be cheap enough.
Yep.
Right.
That it can get, everybody think, oh, I can buy a Pro now. Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no more Slim. Sorry, bro.
Yep.
You get dynamic 4K. Thank you.
Dynamic 4K.
That's what they say. Dynamic 4K entertainment.
Yeah.
Dynamic is the word of the generation.
Yeah.
Dynamic. That is, to me, that is the funniest word that I've ever seen to pump up a game. Check this out in all of its dynamic 4K.
Anywhere from 1080p to 2160 to checkerboard 2160 to 1440p. It's oh man.
Yeah, you pick the P's and we'll put them on the screen.
Yeah, only for you. It's like, hold on a second. Okay, all the your hood is 4K, but the gameplay is 1800p. So
right,
isn't it Overwatch is on the PS4 Pro? It's
right, like the HUD is full.
4K,
right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is right. The menu is 4K.
Whoa! Look at this stupid.
Man.
I had no idea that was a thing. Wow.
That wasn't. Oh, you seriously? They render. You can render HUDs and main menus at different resolutions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. To harness the power.
You just sit there for 5 minutes and the press start button. Whoa!
To harness the power. Oh man.
Oh, yeah, I love video games. It's
Yeah.
never-ending entertainment.
So while I've got you guys, I would like to get, because Fastback was also asking, it's like when was the Xbox show? I said 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Where you been, bro?
Right. Where you been? Well, it's what happens when people don't watch our show.
Oh.
See, it's what happens when people don't. This hurts.
No.
But I want to get real quick. Don't want to spend a lot of time on it because we hashed this out 2 weeks ago. But I would like, since I got you guys, what you're expecting to see and what you're hoping to see from a multi-console point of view from Microsoft as we head to Sunday. Because they've got their own set of freaking rumors now of like there's going to be 12 different Gears of War titles and
Damn.
We're getting Gears of War kart racing,
Oh, hey, I would play that. Okay, I promise you. I love
that.
kart racing games.
So, they're gonna like Phil Spencer's gonna come out on stage and say, and by the way, we are canceling Crackdown.
Right.
We're
canceling Crackdown. We're gonna stop charging for multiplayer.
Right, we're gonna start charging for multiplayer.
That's my favorite one. They're gonna stop charging. Oh, sure.
You're right. Yeah, all that money, that money that they got coming in, and they're just gonna stop charging for it.
But the PR.
But the PC, right? The PC players.
Well, I'm talking about. It'd be so consumer friendly.
Right.
It'd be a PR win. Okay.
Okay.
It's like Sony all of a sudden stopped charging for PC.
That is still, by the way.
That's about the only way that would happen.
That is still, by the way, the master class of how to announce something and get away with it to this day was still how they did that at E3. And nobody blinked. Nobody blinked. Remember when Oh, come on. What's his name?
Jack Trenton.
Thank you, Jack Trenton. When Jack Trenton comes out and it says, "We love used games," and the crowd went nuts, and while they're going nuts, he goes, "Oh, and by the way, we're going to start charging for PS Plus." And nobody even, everybody was still, "Oh yeah, they're the best," and then they walked out of the conference going, "Wait, did I hear something about PS Plus and something or other?" And all of a sudden, they're charging for online multiplayer. That was to date, the most brilliant move I've ever seen at an E3. Jack is I miss Jack. I miss Jack so much.
That's the Trojan horse, man. They call it the Trojan horse.
Yep.
I had friends calling me, "Hey man, is PS Plus still free?" Well,
did you watch?
Not exactly.
Right. Like, did you watch the show? Well, I did, but the used games. I said, "Well, watch that part again."
So I had a friend. He still had a PS3, and about a year and a half later, he was like, "Hey man, is PS Plus still free?" I'm getting the PS4. I'm like, "No, you gotta buy a membership now." He's like, "Oh, it's $10 cheaper than Xbox, I guess." He's like, "Oh, that's cool." And he's like, "Oh man."
Hey,
like, yeah, it's
that big reward.
Well, I would say,
Live.
even though the making paid multiplayer go away isn't something I think is going to happen, I do see the possibility for something like rolling Game Pass and Gold into something together. I think something's going to happen with. I think something's going to happen with Games with Gold too, because what I've seen with Games with Gold since Game Pass is you get an alternating goodness. You get, hey, this is a hot month for Game Pass, and it's not such a hot month for Game with Gold. Hey, this is a hot month for Game with Gold, and what they're adding to Game Pass is, yeah. So,
or they're taking 27 games out of it that month.
Right.
You're like, whoa, wait a minute.
I think there's going to be an evolution.
Yeah, I think that they're going to. And so the question that I had posed that had gotten a lot of talk on Twitter was, do they roll them up? So my thought was, which is probably where Juan's is, they roll Game Pass into Xbox Live Gold, and they totally drop Games with Gold. Now my question is, do you guys think they do that and don't change the price?
I could see that if they drop Gold again. If they drop GWG and had Game Pass in it, you have over 100 games a month to play, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So what's 4 games a month compared to 100?
I'm telling you, Game Pass in the last few months has been super legit for me. Between Sea of Thieves, which I bought anyway, but Sea of Thieves is there. I've played the Shantae series, the platformer. I had missed the old one. I picked up that. I've been playing some of the old arcades, like the Metal Slugs. Things like that. Of course, State of Decay 2 is the first Microsoft exclusive that I haven't bought this gen because I got it on Game Pass, and it's great. It's Laser League. I've been going apeshit about Laser League on my Twitter.
I just downloaded it.
Yeah, I'm digging the hell out of it.
Earlier today.
Yeah.
Game. There's nothing. I mean, Game Pass is great. And I said, I almost felt like
nothing wrong.
I wish I wasn't like an OG Xbox user, because if I was going to the store and buying an Xbox and finding out about Game Pass, I'd be like, holy crap! Like it would almost hit like the gamer OCD in a way, like, oh shit, I don't know what to play.
But they just put KOTOR in it, and I own the disc. And it's nice that I own the disc and I can play it PC, but now I'm going to probably pick it up on the Game Pass discount just so I can put my disc up and have it in the digital library.
I was playing it last night, Juan.
You played
that KOTOR, download.
Are you playing that on an X?
Yeah, those four were a surprise.
Yeah, I'm telling you, these OG games like Ninja Gaiden and KOTOR on the X, it's a trip. Because
difference.
Well, I mean, I've got it on a 4K HDR in the living room, and yeah, it's just something seeing these old games so crisp. It's amazing.
Yeah, Panzer Dragoon looks crazy.
Yeah, I had actually missed that one back in the day, and so being able to go back for it enhanced is so great. But with that, there's a caveat of like KOTOR looks amazing when you're playing it, but then when it gets to the cutscenes, you can't give them any special love. So you're back to that era. But no, it's Game Pass, I think, is a real game changer too. When you look at getting people in the door for these games, and I don't think it's hurt their sales at all. I think it's maybe helped just by having more people talking about it. I mean, because that's one thing that the Xbox has lacked all gen. What it's lacked compared to its competition is install base. And with the install base that they've got, and the Xbox, general buying habits, when you look at something like Sunset Overdrive, right? Well, now they've got the idea. Okay, look, we have this install base, but this much of it is going to give it a go at least. They're going to at least get in the door with your game. I think that's brilliant for developers.
So they talked about this too yesterday, or not yesterday, on Friday. That this has just been a year already with Game Pass.
I know, right? That seems crazy.
And
yeah, that went by pretty quick.
They're apparently doing well with it. I mean, there must be. They don't share numbers, of course, but they must be doing really well with this as far as subscription goes. Because
I didn't get with it myself until just before SOT, because I had so much of what was in it. I had purchased all the exclusives and everything that were in there, but I got into it because I hadn't picked up Super Luckies and it hit it, and it's a cute little enjoyable game, and then I got into just kind of digging around in it and seeing what I could find. Have you guys tried or seen the what's it called, Late Shift?
I saw that in there.
I saw that in there.
It's like a full motion
FMV,
video game.
yeah.
It's actually surprisingly decent. Like I kind of just gave it and that's one thing that's cool about it is, there's such a low barrier to entry that there's something that I wasn't expecting much of it, but I thought, what the hell, I'll give it a try, and my wife and I really dug it. So yeah, I really think that this is a key thing for Xbox going forward. I do think that, like Mike was saying, it's going to be incorporated somehow.
Yeah. I wanted to touch on that and answer Mike's question. I think I could see them rolling it in, doing away with games with gold, and doing Game Pass, raising the price. I think if they did that, it could be justified.
I don't disagree. Because right now you're paying.
I don't want them to.
Right now you're paying $10.
Don't get me wrong.
You're
Wait a minute.
$10 a month for Live, and you're paying $5 a month for Gold or for Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. You're paying $10 a month for both, aren't you? I haven't. I've got it on automatic.
Game Pass is what? Yeah, $10 a month.
Right, and Gold is $10.
Live
a
is.
Well, I mean,
if you pay it per year, I'm sorry. Yeah. So if you pay by year, it's less. But
60.
Right,
but if you pay it by the month, it's $10.
Right.
Well, the reason I say if they raise the price would be justified because if you're doing Game Pass for a year, it's $120.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
If you're doing Gold, if you're doing Live for the year, it's $60. And let's be honest, most of us can find a discount code.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a balance. I don't know how they figure that out because if you have someone subscribing to Game Pass every month, you're getting more money out of them. But that would be a hell of a consumer-friendly move, to fold that into.
I think that is there when they announced that they were doing the day and date first party.
Yeah.
I thought that was game changer number one. I think rolling them together for $10 a month is game changer number two. I think that
right.
gets that you put that on a box at Best Buy in the fall, and you slap that on every Xbox One X. That's a killer. Think about the library you instantly have.
Right, and I'll do you one better. Game Changer, you can swap it out 2 or 3, however you want to look at it. If they can get a major third-party day and date,
right,
which Sam seems to think is going to be Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So if you get that, in the Game Pass, that's all stuff,
Yeah.
People have to kind of pay attention to,
Well, it just depends on how big a check they want to cut, because that's what it's going to take to get third party in there.
But I think if you have enough subscribers, you've got the money to cut the check,
right?
Because if you think about what they've, and I'm not, and yes, these are small games. I get it, but there have been a couple of games that have launched into Game Pass from indie developers. We had
Robocraft,
Infinity, and Laser League. Which,
man, I love that game.
Think about how many my Twitter feed lit up with the amount of people that played Laser League that probably got it through Game Pass and didn't realize how good of a game it is.
It's a blast.
Yeah,
they gave us like 10 codes to give away, so I'm like, I'll keep one of those for myself.
Nice. But think about Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2 have benefited, and probably State of Decay 2 probably benefited more because people were we know the pre-press on the game, and then people were able to get their hands on it through Game Pass, and I'm seeing a lot of positive stories about State of Decay 2, and it allowed them to get enough of a player base to get that giant 20 gig patch in that I got to download now. But there games like those kind of games are just the start, and it probably did not cost Microsoft a lot of money to have Laser League launch in there, and if they get a big enough subscriber base that they can afford to give a couple $1 million to Square Enix to launch that day and date, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Because what you're going to get out of that is you're going to get more Game Pass subscribers, which is then going to give you more revenue incoming to allow you to keep doing that stuff. So,
that snowball effect.
Right. And do you think this announcement comes at E3?
I think he'd be a good, somewhere in the middle. Hey guys, by the way,
right? We love used games.
Xbox Live's evolving.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean they believe in Game Pass. The day and date with the first party titles showed that.
Yeah,
right.
And I think
they're all in. They're all in on Game Pass for sure.
And I think if you do something, even if you did something like EA Access does, EA Access, their games you could typically count in your calendar 6 months after launch. If you start putting those games, 6 months in after launch into Game Pass, even if they won't do day and date, that's still pretty big. Or if you even do 3 months after, launch, right? You get a game like, you can't use Madden because Madden's EA, but get let's take this Assassin's Creed game coming out. We think this fall, maybe this fall. Let's say that comes out in November, and then in February, December, January, February. In February, it comes to Game Pass. That is still huge, in my opinion.
Right.
So we'll see where that goes. But I'm glad you brought that up, Juan, because that was something that they heralded the 1 year anniversary of Game Pass, and apparently it's doing great. So I'm happy to see.
Another thing I really want to see this E3, and it's not related to any particular platform or anything, but I guess it is because I want the X enhancement. But Prey DLC and hopefully X enhancement with that. If they can give me a 60 FPS mode for Prey, which is my game of the year, my non-Forza game of the year, because I have to have, there's Forza and then there's everything else. So, my non-Forza game of the year was Prey. If I can get the 60 in that, even if I don't care if it's 1080, give me 60 frames per second in Prey. Give me some DLC, and that will be the highlight of my E3, quite possibly.
Well, word is the enhancement is coming for that.
No.
So
it's coming, bruh.
No, you're happy for it. So Eric, what are you looking for out of all jokes aside and the stuff? What are you looking for out of Microsoft on Sunday?
Definitely want to see more Ori. Want to get a glimpse at what's going on with that.
We get Below, you think? Because I
think we're gonna have to.
Right? I almost believe that Below is going to be one of those either is available today or it's available next week type of things. Because I think, from what I understand, it's pretty far along. Come on, how many years has it been? So
3 years.
Yeah.
Or
So
yeah.
I think I want to see more of Ashen, and I definitely want to see more of The Last Night.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
The Last Night game looks great, man.
We've not seen anything.
Love the look of it.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything more since last E3, except for that one that's still this year with the Matrix thing, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I want to see more of that for sure. I think, and Sam actually mentioned this too, but I think Ashen's going to be a bigger game.
Yeah.
Than people may think. So I want to co-sign on that. Sam said that. We kind of went back and forth on that. So
who's making the Ashen?
Aurora 44.
That's okay. I'm not really. I don't know whether we see Fable.
Yeah,
I think that's what they end with.
Yeah, I want to see Fable, definitely.
Yeah, I think they have to.
Okay.
Are y'all excited to see No Man's Sky on Xbox stage?
I will give it a try if it
was $50.
Bring it to Game Pass.
$50.
It worked pretty good.
Look, I know they added a lot to it. I know it's supposed to be now the version that he meant for it to be, but $50.
Yeah,
I paid
not a
so they could. I paid for the early access.
Right. You know who everybody who said that, right?
Finish the damn game.
Everybody who said thank you for Ark, and all that shit when it came out. Thank you for beta testing at Xbox. Thank you, PlayStation owners, for beta testing No Man's Sky.
Definitely. I tweeted that out one day. It blew up, man. People had the little crying emoji on there, and for 2 years, I bought this game and supported you just so you could finish it. And here we are.
I want to check it out, but I'm with Juan. I don't want to spend $50 on it. I honestly believe it should have been in Game Pass. That would have been a great day one.
And it might. They might.
You never know.
You never know. They might.
That's true.
I still have my original copy, so hopefully the next update's free. Hopefully. Come on,
honestly,
games.
For people that pay for it should be a free update. You bought it on PlayStation. People that bought it, they should get the free update.
They can keep that update. If they gave me the PSVR mode for it, they can keep that update.
I think you're getting it though. I think, and that typically is what happens when a game makes it over to the other platform. Is all the updates and stuff are available on the platform that it came from. That's pretty.
Pretty standard.
Yeah, that's pretty standard. I'm not at all jazzed about No Man's Sky. I have no interest in it. I had no interest in it when it was on PS4. I had no interest in it now. And I don't know. I know Coop liked it. So Super Cooper saying he's a great game. I don't know. I would rather spend that money on like a space combat simulator. Like the first person to give me a new Wing Commander or X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. That's where my money's going.
The first 8 hours of No Man's Sky, man, it was great. I'm like, oh my god, I'm getting all the material. I'm going to these new planets. I'm upgrading my ship, and then
80 hours later.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be an astronaut. I'm gonna name this planet the Bra Planet.
Yeah,
Planet Bra.
Bralandia, and then
Bralandia.
Yeah, it was the same. They've really come a long way since that very first release, but
I'm sure they have. It's just I don't know.
I still think they're messing themselves up with that $50 price though.
Yeah,
a little bit. I think.
Yeah, especially after the fiasco, there needs to be some goodwill, and that doesn't scream goodwill to me.
It was interesting to see him on Inside Xbox, Sean.
Hey, Sean Murray.
It was.
There he is.
Yeah, it's like when Rick Rude came out on Raw on Nitro. And said, yeah, didn't you just see me on Raw?
Oh my god.
That was one of the.
He has a family.
That goes. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's I'm just saying that you're right. It doesn't. To me, that price tag doesn't do it.
Of course, when you're talking about these kind of things, your Forza Halo Gears.
Rico Harvey says it'll be a great mobile re-release.
So people are going to expect Halo Forza Gears, but the interesting bet here is, are we going to actually have that Hong Kong or Japan Tokyo setting for Forza Horizon 4? Because that could be really amazing.
I think that seems to be where we're headed, right?
Yeah, it's not confirmed, but that's where that rumor's been going around since last year.
Yeah, the only issue with it is that a lot of times what you see the DLC cars from an area before it went to Australia. They were loading in Holdens and things like that as the DLC cars in the previous games, and the more recent batches are a lot of English automobiles. So that is kind of a piece of evidence, a piece that shows it may not be. It might be more European.
Well, but there's that's some of the concept art there, and that's somebody's. This comes from. Somebody leaked this out, and somebody said, "Yeah, that's definitely Hong Kong."
Did you guys hear the rumor that it could jump locations?
Ooh,
no, that'd be interesting.
That it may not be one setting.
That'd be fine.
Will there be police chases?
I hope not.
No, I don't think so. I think they're going to stick to the plan.
Yeah, that's something that's been done a lot in other games, and it's. Yeah, I don't know that it needs it.
I like them though.
Yeah, but there's just so many other places. It's counter to the whole festival thing. Now maybe they'll move away from that some, but because of course I'm the guy who's got too many hours in all of them. But yeah, I mean that's part of the whole suspension of disbelief for the festival, the Music and Cars Festival that is the setting.
I wonder if they go more towards a Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift kind of game, like with an actual super story and.
That Forza Horizon 2 Fast and Furious standalone DLC was pretty awesome.
It was, agreed.
Yeah, it really was. Definitely was.
And so
I wonder if we get anything as wild as the Hot Wheels expansion, because that was
they're gonna do Cannonball Run.
Right, that'd be pretty sweet. I'd love to see it.
That'd be crazy.
Cross country, with checkpoints.
So, well, you're not. I don't think you're gonna get that with Forza Horizon 2. I think where you're gonna get that's gonna be the Crew 2. So, I'm just being honest. I call it as I see it.
Sure.
I watched Super Cooper stream that Crew 2 beta for 3 hours. And I know Witty didn't like it, but that could give me that Cannonball Run type fix, because the first Crew to me was massive as far as its map goes. This one looks like it's going to be even deeper, and now you got planes and boats and motorcycles and all kinds of stuff. But that game, and it's not even to me going to, like, the nice thing about having the Crew and having Forza is if I want to go race in Australia, I got Forza 2 or Forza 3. If I want to go race in France and Italy, I got Forza 2. If I want to just go race through the United States, I got the Crew. And I think same thing's going to happen here. When I want to race through whatever, either Hong Kong or Japan or whatnot, I've got Forza Horizon 4. When I want to go screaming from Vegas to DC, I can go pop in the Crew, and I don't feel like they're competing games. That makes sense.
That's fair.
So, all right. So, brah, from a PlayStation fan's point of view, what are you hoping to see out of Microsoft?
I definitely want to see the last night. That game really caught my attention last year. The look of it was pretty awesome. The new Fable. I mean, I played the first Fable. Really enjoyed it. And of course, what they're saying, what Playground's going to be doing the new one. That's the big rumor.
That's the rumor.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Forza Horizon team, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's definitely something that I was like, wait a minute, are you serious?
They did a lot of hiring.
Because I know what.
Yeah, they opened up a whole second studio.
Oh, damn.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mike, you feel that they closed with that? So
I
what do
think
you
they
think
closed.
show?
I think that is
Think
the
so.
yeah. I think they have to show it. I think they have to show that they're working on it, and I think that is the, in the old days when before Peter Moore left the stage and he said, "Oh, by the way, I got one more thing," and it was Halo 2 or Halo 3 or something like that. I think this is Phil's. Oh, before we go, I got one more thing for you, and that's your final trailer.
Oh.
Because I think if any game's gonna do it, people, especially given the backlash, I say it with the Dr. Evil quotes, the backlash of Fable Legends, which to me was always unfair. I think the clamoring for a mainline Fable has been so great that considering Fable 3, so we haven't had a Fable on this generation at all now. Not counting the remaster, I'm not counting that. But if you think about it, Fable 3 was 8 years ago. So, it's time. It's not something that, Fables, everybody talks about, Halo, Gears, Fable, Forza. But Fable's really not fair. It's not fair to put Fable in there because there haven't been a Fable every year. This is a game ripe to come back. And while I'm sad that Lionhead's not doing it, if Playground really is doing it, then they need to show something. They need to have something, a trailer, something. And even if it's a year out, 2 years out, they need to show that it's there because people want it.
Heck, I want to see the Perfect Dark rumors.
Sure,
It's been a while since we've seen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go for a new Perfect Dark.
Didn't Walmart leak that too? Walmart.
No,
Walmart
yeah, Marcus. No, that's been a rumor for a while now. But it's another one. That's right. That was a launch title for the Xbox 360.
Yeah, 360.
And you
man.
didn't have anything since. So it's time. Now, does Rare have enough horsepower to make it? Because obviously, I think we're getting some Gears this year. Maybe not this year, but we're getting some Gears announcement. It may not be 3 different games. We're getting a Gears announcement because the Coalition is to the point now where they've stopped putting out any content for Gears 4. I think they're working on Gears 5, or whatever Gears they're doing. And
I don't think it'll be the mainline game. I think it'll be whatever this XCOM Gears thing they're talking about.
I don't think that's going to sell, though.
Well, I mean, whether it sells or not, I think that's what you're going to get at E3. I don't think they're talking anything about the mainline Gears. And
show a teaser for it. Oh.
Yeah,
Gears 5, 2019.
Yeah, because really, Gears 4, you're far enough out from that. It released in 2016. You're 2 years out from your Gears game. I think you could show something.
there are no rules anymore, Mike. We're in the land of iterative consoles.
Yeah, uncharted territory.
I think Uncharted. I think what we will probably see as well is I think we can pretty much count on seeing something on Cursed Sales, the next content update for Sea of Thieves coming in the summer. I'd be shocked if we didn't see something there.
For which one?
For the Cursed Sales, the next the thing to follow the Hungering Deep.
Oh yeah, right.
I'm sure they'll give that some time.
Yeah. No, we just don't have time. But man, if you guys get a chance on our Twitch channel where we are here, if you go back and hit some of the other videos, we've got a great. God, we what 2.5 hours, Juan?
Yeah, at least.
You and me and Nathan and Fastback and we caught up with these guys on another galleon and had just such a fantastic time going after the Hungry
Megalodon.
the Megalodon, and me getting the drum finally. But the teamwork that was involved in that, and having two separate crews that honestly would have tried to blast the crap out of each other in normal circumstances, working together, it was what I had hoped Sea of Thieves would become, and it was probably one of my favorite play sessions of that game ever. It was just so great.
It really actually shows a lot of potential for where they can go with it, and what they can do. With just they've got such a strong foundation that and this world that they've created that they can just throw things into it like this, and between now and the Cursed Sales content ad, you're going to have the weekly events and everything. I'm looking forward to that. I've actually killed the Megalodon 3 times now because
he can.
Well, yeah, solo. No, it's been interesting too because it's been a different experience each time. Like when Mike and myself and Fast did it, and Nate, it was early and nobody had done it. So except very few because people who weren't working that day or whatever. But so everyone who was on was all about it. You roll up and there's just people there. Hey, you going? Yeah, we're going. Let's go. But nowadays, more people have done it. So now it's. Hey, that ship is coming. Have they done it, or are they just because now it's actually kind of a cool place to go sink people because people are going to go there and try to do it. And if you've already done it, what's the harm in going and mess them up?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of fascinating. When I did it with HTK, who couldn't be with us on the first session, we had a galleon attack us, and so we sunk that galleon and ended up partying with a different one. And getting it done. And then today, even, I was just doing some solo sloop action, and I had these kids, and I got a tweet up if anyone wants to check it out, but I had these kids, like literal kids, come up, hey, can you join us? Because we need one more for the... I'm like, yeah, sure, but I've done all the stuff. So just message me when you're on your way to them. I can meet you at the hunting ground, and we'll do it up. And man, we killed the shark. I got the killing shot. I made a sweet gif because it died like right next to the ship, and it does the whole death throw, like right in my gun sights. And you hear this little squeaker. We killed it. We killed it. It was totally worth doing just for the kids' reactions. I mean, I gained nothing from that like half-hour gameplay. I'm not making any money or any experience or whatever, but it doesn't matter. It was the music starts and all the kids, oh my god, he's coming, and just it was so great. So great.
Hold my hand, bro.
Right.
Well, and I'm only bringing this up because I wanted to see. So we had this stream, and like there's the other ship, so there's our partnership, and it was really cool because at one point we're like right next to each other. And you get an achievement for you guys going in the same direction at the same speed.
Without firing any cannons.
Without firing any cannons. And, we were trying to shoot each other onto the ships, get climbing in the cannon to get that achievement. But it was just, and you could hear them. So we were in game chat. So you could talk back and forth. And it really began to work. And all of a sudden... You're playing, it was like the East India Trading Company, that kind of thing. And what they've got coming for this, from what we've read, is the ability to possibly create an alliance with other crews and other ships. So you could create that kind of trading company, and you can be that force, and so you guys can go out and do your thing, and you can run into like another faction, and then imagine getting into these giant like 4 or 5 galleon boat clashes, and that's where this game could really go. So if you've given up on this game, you get back into it, give it a try. I mean, if you've already bought it, what's it going to hurt you?
Or if you have Game Pass.
Or if you have Game Pass, get back into
it. The barrier to entry is so low. But yeah, no. Even down to when we did it on that first stream, killing the shark was epic, and it was a proper boss fight, and it required teamwork that was like crazy communication, and all that was great. But even I think one of the things that stood out the most on the first trip was when the two galleons were racing to the hunting ground, and it was nighttime, and they're like side by side, and both parties are playing music, and the two songs kind of link up, and it's just like this anthem, this war anthem as we're off to go get it. It was just like, it's like, just makes your dick want to bust concrete. It's fucking fantastic.
Okay. No. Here.
Whoa.
Here.
Whoa.
Just aim for the bat. It'll be fine.
Here we go. The greatest race.
So here we
Fire
are.
in the same direction as nearby without firing shots at each other.
And they're playing.
We got
music,
one for
we're
going
playing
in the
music.
same direction without firing. We're gonna hit them though.
Yeah, Fastback was a good. He was a good pilot though. So he's up there banging on the drum, and then we all start kicking in. I mean, that's just the kind of cool stuff that that this game, it's finally starting to do, where you can begin to, not everything is just go. Rick's not with us anymore, it looks like, but Rick's attitude would be, well, let's go sink some ships. You don't always have to do that, and this new Hungering Deep gives you the opportunity not to do it. So anybody wants to give it a try, man. I know Juan and I are always up for the challenge. I
might give it another shot now.
I need to
check out the DLC.
Check out the Hungering Deep.
Yeah.
Because I have it with Game Pass, so I can jump back in anytime you want me to.
Let me know.
Yeah, I know Anchorman's looking for someone to do it with him too.
Yeah, I'll hit up Anchor for it, because that's what I was waiting for, is like whatever they were going to do for the first content patch. So I definitely want to go in and check it out, see what it's about,
Yeah.
So, yeah. Absolutely.
Bust out my Sea of Thieves controller.
Right.
Which is so beautiful.
Not to give you, I'll give you a little taste of the Megalodon. And again, he was attacking both ships, so we're trying to protect each other.
Because you can have four galleons at one time attacking it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
So.
Yeah, when I went with those kids, I took my sloop, and because they had 4 on their galleon, and to summon them, you have to have 5 people on one ship playing the music. And then I ran back over to the sloop, and basically I just tried to keep it afloat, because I made him angry, and I kind of drew his aggro, which, and then I just focused on repairs. So I was basically a decoy, a dummy, and he just beat my ship up until I couldn't keep it up anymore. But that gave them a chance to wail on it with the guns, and eventually I was able to swim over and help them finish it off by working repairs on their ship and things like that. But I had to sacrifice the sloop 1B.
Oh, I'll never forget you.
Right.
You're my favorite boat. So anyway,
I think it's the big thing is that it's
damn water.
The big thing is that it shows that there's real potential, that they can do almost anything with this.
Then that's the thing. It's so open. Look, I've said this before. Annie's still in the room. If you stop playing it because it was light on content, if you felt that way, that's fine. I mean, it's okay. Not everybody is going to be into the open piece of this, in that way. This was a mistake, by the way.
Oh no!
This was a bad move.
Boom.
And then I forgot I had no bullets. So, but if you didn't play it because it was light on content for you, that's fine, and I have no issue with that. A lot of people played it and like the openness of it. Some people wanted more. I get it, but at the very least, come back and try this and see if it's it gives you a real mission, and something to do. So give it a chance, and I'll run it with anybody.
The goddamn water, man.
I know the water.
Wow.
I mean, it's like looking at the freaking ocean. I mean,
Yeah.
it is the greatest looking water I've ever seen in my life. And this is just 1080p.
That,
I mean,
no one can take that from them.
no, nobody can take the water from them. So,
Best water ever.
yeah. So,
Damn rare.
all right.
Yeah, I'll definitely go back and give it another shot.
Okay.
There's all these little details I love about it too. Like as you go through the deal, you get a tattoo, and this introduced tattoos to the game. So there's different tattoo sets you can get for your pirate and such. But there's one that's specifically like a shark's jaw, right? And like when we did our second cruise with Super and HK, we all went team skins. So we just rocking the skins and the tattoos. And when the music summons this Megalodon, he's getting close. All the tattoos glow on everybody.
Whoa.
It's just just dope little touches like that are so great.
Wow.
Yeah. It's. I think it's worth taking another look at.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me know.
Definitely.
Okay. So looking down at the clock, we're getting close to being done. So I want to get the last segment in, because I know some of us have to work tomorrow, and I appreciate you guys being up late with us. So we're gonna get to obviously my favorite part of the show. There we go. Come on. There we go. Just Juan by himself.
Yeah. He is the one.
Juan, nice. I'm just keeping the music. I'm excited. I just. There it is.
There it is.
Man. The behemoth.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
All right. Kind of interesting one this week.
Yeah, it occurred to me that thus far I hadn't actually done any kind of little look at a Capcom game,
No.
so I decided to finally do one, and you can go ahead and kick it off. We're gonna do that with 1991's UN Squadron on the SNES. It's a one of my favorites in my collection, actually. I've always kind of loved this game from when it came out. It was one of the earlier games on the system. It was developed by Capcom. Capcom was founded in 1983 from its predecessor REM Corp, which is actually part of IREM, which you may know from, say, R-Type.
Yeah.
Their name, Capcom, was derived from Capsule Computers, a term coined by the company for its arcade machine, Capsule. Partially to differentiate them from personal computers, which started the company. Also because Capsule is how they describe their software, a capsule packed to the brim with gaming fun, as well as with their desire to protect their IP with a hard outer shell, preventing illegal copies and inferior imitations. Their first video game was the arcade game Vulgus in 1984. 1985 marked their entry into the home market with an NES port of the shooter 1942. They've created 15 multi-million selling series, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. The largest and best-selling series being, what do you guys think?
Devil May Cry.
Monster Hunter.
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. Okay.
Really?
Series-wise, yeah, that's the biggest series. They're kind of notable as kind of the last major publisher committed to 2D gaming. And of course, it had a ton of notable titles over the years, including Mega Man, Street Fighter, Resident Evil, Dead Rising, Devil May Cry, Lost Planet, and countless more, including its most recent, most successful title ever, Monster Hunter World.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. A great game, too.
Yeah.
This game, though, is a single-player, side-scrolling shooter, which was kind of bucking the trend of other Capcom shooters like 1942 and 1943, which were vertical scrolling instead. Also, kind of bucking the general trend in these types of shooters. Instead of having just a number of lives and one hit to be killed, you have a damage meter. And when you take a hit, you then enter kind of a critical phase where if you can pass through that without taking another hit, then you survive that original hit, and your life bar is depleted instead. But if you take another hit during that time, you're wiped out regardless. And here we are in the danger period, where if you take another hit during that time, it doesn't matter where your life bar is, you're toast. Which is kind of a change up for the genre. When you start play, you choose one of 3 pilots. The characters are actually from a manga, which is Area 88, which was the actual theme of the game in Japan, and you kind of get a hint of it here on the map screen because of the 88s, where you've beaten sections. But it was rebranded kind of to UN Squadron for the North American release. But the characters are from that manga. Shin Kazama is labeled as a specialist, and he levels his primary weapon faster than anybody else. And when you make your pickups, and your forward shooting gun can get more damaging, and he does that better than anybody else. The second one has a name, last name I won't try to pronounce, but it's Mickey, and he's got incredible dexterity and can use more than one of the special weapons at a time. But I never really found that to be super helpful, because they all kind of serve a certain purpose. So if you're trying to use one, I don't know why you'd really want to be using another at the same time, except for maybe like the Mega Crush, right? And then there's Greg Gates, who's able to fly the most damaged planes. He can take more hits than anybody else in the planes, same planes, more hits, but he levels his main weapon slower than anybody else as well. Unlike the arcade version, it was based off of each pilot can fly any of the planes. In the arcade, they each had their one plane, and it includes the F-8 Crusader, which is your default. It can only carry kind of the basic special weapons, and it can only level to max of level 5. Next up is the Tiger Shark, which has a good mix of ground and air attacks and can level to 5. Here we have the F-14D Tomcat, which is one of the more nimble fighters, and it actually specializes in forward-firing weapons. I had messed up here. I think this is after I had died, and I forgot to load any special weapons, so I'm trying to play through the whole stage just with the standard weapons. It gets pretty hairy. The A-10 Thunderbolt's in the game. It only levels to max 3, but it has a split fire, so it can fire angled weapons downward as well, downward and forward, which is really handy. It also carries the most and largest number of ground weapons. The Stealth Ray was the YF-23. The used to be same thing like the old Genesis game, the F-22 Interceptor. That's what that's based off of. It goes to max level 6 and splits fire upward instead. And then there was a fictional fighter, the F-200. That can carry all the weapons in very large amounts, and it's max level 7, and it's the cream of the crop, if you will, in the game. Before each round, you get to spend money to equip special weapons like the Cluster Burst, Bombs to Drop, the Mega Crush, Seeking Missiles, Spread Missiles, a napalm weapon, and gun pods that you can install up and down. You earn the money by killing enemies. As you defeat different enemies and survive stages, you earn money, and also bonus money for unused specials that you've equipped. There's not really a ton of information out there about the development of the game, aside from it having originally been an arcade port, with the differences being that in the arcade you didn't get your life bar was it. You didn't necessarily get the reserve live system like you do at home, and then the aforementioned issues with difference in planes. And really, there's a lot less information about the reception of this cartridge, this port, than I've found with other games. I did see that IGN ranked it as 37th of the top 100 SNES games of all time, which puts it at as the top side-scrolling shooter on the platform. So it kind of ranks high that way. I don't really recall what I paid for it when I was putting my collection back together a couple of years ago, but at the time I made these notes, you could get a loose cartridge on eBay in the range of $20-$30, which SNES carts tend to run a little more expensive than some of the other retro for some reason. But that's is fairly common and totally worthwhile if you're into if you're looking for something a little different in the side-scrolling shooter genre. And that's why it's this week's recommendation.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, it's a great looking game. I love it.
I really like the soundtrack too. I don't know. I think like maybe someone wrong my recording there, but the soundtrack has that kind of. The Japanese do rock just a little bit different, don't they? They do metal or guitar. Right. It's a little bit different, and it has that cool Japanese guitar in it a lot. So a big fan of that. But yeah, if you're building a SNES collection and you got $20 burning a hole in your pocket, you can't go wrong with that.
And is it in the classic?
I don't recall. Might be.
Yeah, I don't know. By the way, that game also came out for the Amiga and the Atari ST.
Yes, it did.
Is it in the S? Is it in the SNES Classic?
That's what I was asking.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I didn't see that one in there.
Okay.
No.
But
maybe that's the kind of stuff they should have put into one of those,
Yeah. Well, it depends on what licensing they can get from it.
True, that is true too.
So, yeah, looking at doing a quick eBay, anywhere from $16 to $30.
Yeah, and that's just for a loose cart. Of course, you're always going to pay more if you want. My collection
box and manual for $95.
On that shelf over there.
Yeah.
All those cartridges you see down there, just carts, just so that I have something to play, because that's the key, is going back and playing them again. Nothing wrong with the guys who spend all the money on, the shelves and shelves of mint condition. Yeah. But yeah, some of these titles, like my Metal Marines, was probably the most expensive one I've bought, and that's just loose cartridge, right? But not like a new one, $7,000-$8,000. Like just crazy, but people do it. Like you see people who have these collections. I saw one that actually was everything you could possibly have purchased for the Wii. And I thought, damn, that is impressive, but why?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep doing these little retro segments as long as people keep wanting to see them, because it's a real joy for me to go back and go through these old titles again.
Yeah,
keep it on, man. Keep it on.
That's what I love.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that game. So, was that one that you had like back in the day?
Yeah. No, that was one of my original. Well, it was part of the original collection. It was pretty near the launch of the system at 91.
Nice.
Very nice.
It's tough too. There's it may shame me a little bit to admit it, but I haven't actually gotten all the way through it yet. It's legitimately tough. There's not a continue.
Oh.
So it's one of those you have to get through it in one go. There's no password. There's no battery save.
Oh man!
Wow.
You gotta be committed to finish it, right?
Right.
Just like the arcade.
Nope.
Yep. Well, it's like a lot of them too. Like one of the games I did earlier was the Jurassic Park for the SNES, because it was on SNES and Genesis as well in different versions. In a lot of ways, the Genesis version was better, but the SNES had this like kind of crazy first-person segment where when you went inside, it went to a first-person, and you could actually use the Super NES mouse with it. It worked with the mouse, which was rare. There wasn't a lot of games that had mouse support, and so I think it was. I can't remember. I apologize, because one of our viewers had mentioned that they'd never seen it play through, so I did a playthrough on it. It's like 3 hours to play that game. It has the worst ending ever. But there's no again. There's no password. There's no battery backup. You just have to play these ones. I did Battletoads.
Yes, that was fantastic. That was absolutely fantastic.
I got to where I did Battletoads without using a continue.
Wow. Damn.
It's not a speed run or you can find videos out there where people are doing it without taking a hit and crazy shit like that. But But yeah, no, I was pretty happy with just getting through it without using a continue.
That was fun to watch too.
Yeah, it came down to it.
Yes, it did. All right, so we've come to the end of the line, gentlemen. This is a great show. I do want to give some parting words, though, to Sony Santa Monica. Valkyries can go to hell. I almost stopped playing.
Really?
I almost stopped playing the game over those Valkyries. I'm just telling you. I spent 3 hours. I was up till 3 in the morning last night trying to beat Ear, and finally just turned around and walked out and just went back to the story mode. And I'm like, you know what?
Betray us to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy.
I tell you, man, the story in that game is great. Great. The ending, I saw all these people talking about how oh my god, that ending. The ending kind of didn't make sense to me. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but
please don't spoil it.
Wait, who hasn't finished it?
No, I'm saying don't finish it for people. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm just saying, just the
everybody does.
Yeah, I mean, just offline, I can vent, but I mean, just the ending didn't give me that. Oh my god, that because the ending didn't make sense. Like I know my lore, and I'm like, no, that's not no. So I'm just, yeah, that was my only issue. The game great, Valkyries suck. So my parting
Fair enough.
words. My parting words.
I love fighting the Valkyries, man. I thought they were. I like the challenge of it. Yeah, I like the challenge of it. It's just figuring out that pattern. Once you got that pattern, you know.
Yeah, throwing the axe helps. I do know that. They're up in the air. Throw the axe.
No, Frankie, you eat a bag of dicks.
He's been waiting to tell you that all night.
Please,
No.
PLZ with the Z.
PLZ.
No, Frankie.
Oh,
Battle Chasers.
Frankie's gonna be very
Good game.
happy with me.
Good game, that.
Frankie's gonna be very happy with me. Hold on.
Just be ready for the difficulty spike, because it comes.
Oh!
Double dip.
He double dipped. Except I think Frankie has it on the PS4.
They dropped a patch for it recently, that kind of made things a little bit easier.
Nice. I'll have to dip back in. That's actually been a backlog game for me, because I was really enjoying it, and then it hit this brick wall. It was like, you're done. Go back and grind. I'm like, but this just came out.
There was a patch a couple months back that helped adjust the difficulty.
I'm on that then. Because I love the animations, and I love the team mechanics. Yep.
Yeah, as a Battle Chasers fan, that's why I double dipped.
Frankie has it on everything, Eric. So
right
there you go.
Your bag, sir.
Get on his level.
All right, so
he's the Battle Chaser.
This is the final countdown to E3. Any last words from you guys?
I'm a little nervous.
PS Swap.
Well, I mean, you'll get to be there.
Swap it out.
I'm just gonna be kind of nervous.
Man.
With the publishers and all the people, and
we're looking forward to.
I'm excited, but
looking forward to seeing your stuff too. Now, are you gonna put that stuff up on the site?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Great. Give us the site one more time.
It's on theplaystationbras.com. That's BRAHS. Okay. Just to clarify.
No, man. Tom,
you should probably sell the other ones though.
Oh,
yeah.
Just market that.
Hey, ladies.
They're bras.
Bras.
I know Brandon, the guys with the digital hoarders.
Hey, is that a Death Stranding shirt?
It is, yeah.
Nice.
Dude, you were sporting it tonight, man. The hat, the shirt, I know why Rick was mad at me tonight. I forgot to wear the Kingdom Come. Oh my god, I'm gonna wear the Kingdom Come shirt during the stream next week.
There you go.
You're fired. Too bad.
Yeah, I know. I'm fired. What's that? Oh, that's your
PlayStation wallet.
Nice. My My Wayne
Gotta live it up.
My Wayne Gretzky hockey puck back there from 989 Sports.
Nice.
So, Eric, any last words for E3?
I'm just ready to see what is announced, what's coming. Because I'm going tempered expectations across the board. That's usually the best way to be. And then if something hits, then it's like, let's go.
Yeah.
Because we always talk about it, E3 is not really. We just live in a world now where we get information every day.
Exactly.
So I'm hyped for the fact that it is still the biggest gaming show of the year. So there should be some surprises and things like that. So I'm hoping to be surprised across the board.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't even, I think last show we talked about Bethesda, but we really haven't even talked about anybody else like them and Square getting their own. So we're gonna see.
Right. You know what I actually look forward to more now than anything, and this is the great thing about social media, is the reports back from people like Bra and the Iron Lords and Sam and people, people that who are actually there. You never got that back in the day. You get the reporting from the magazines and things like that, but you didn't have any connection to them.
Nope.
Like these are people that we talk to on the daily.
I had to wait until I wrote most of my stuff up on the plane home because the internet there sucked. We didn't have social media. We everything we did after the fact, unless it was something big. If it was something big, like we did conference wrap-ups like that night, and just waited till we can get some sort of internet for the next day. But a lot of the post stuff, I took on a handheld camcorder and processed it all when I got home. So this is definitely a different time. My gray hair is definitely getting grayer as we go. So
these kids and their games.
Right. Juan, any last E3 thoughts before we wrap?
Yeah, I just want to see, and this will be disagree with largely, but I want to see stuff that I'm gonna get my hands on relatively soon. I don't want to see things that are 7 years out. I want to know what I can expect soon. I think they are going to go a little bigger because of the whole recent trends. I think they're going to have to show a little more of their cards. But yeah, I want some more stuff that it's going to be in my hands. I want to know what I'm going to be actually getting my hands on.
Yeah,
I think the good thing would be the best of both worlds in that. You're going to get this, but then later on you're going to get this. So while you're doing this, you have that. Yeah, you get a little bit of both. I think the sweet spot is the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Okay. And for me, I'm just it'll be another E3. I get to sit back and watch and see how my predictions come. So I'm also tempering mine. I mean, we've got how many years now have we gone, hype, and then it's like, is it over? Did that just happen?
Well, I think some of that too is there's been so many announcements beforehand from everybody this year. Like,
yeah, and
all the different companies are putting out a lot more information now than they did before previous E3s.
Right. And that's part of my. It's been part of my problem with E3 and why I think it's not going to be viable in the next couple of years is because the companies, they might do their, like I can see Microsoft and Sony's already got PSX and they've got at some point I think Sony's there probably because Microsoft and Nintendo are there. Nintendo's really, they're there now, but they weren't even there 2 years ago. Microsoft's not even in the building. They're in their own building, which I think is a signal from them that if they think that this thing is going to be that good, they'll go off and do their own show like PSX. And once one of the three big guns are totally gone, between that and EA being gone, and I think that's when it all comes to an end. But that's, we'll see. So, Cuphead the FPS. Cuphead 2, the revenge.
Yeah. Dun 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 dun.
So Eric, Tom, man, I want to thank you guys so much for being with us tonight.
Oh,
And I'm looking forward to having you guys back. Of course, it is, as we always say, it's open invitation.
Yep.
You know, you get a hair on it one Sunday afternoon. You're like, yeah,
Yeah.
I want to get on NLG with the
I
guys,
like you.
and you just DM me and say, hey man, can I come on tonight? That's typically how it works. So you guys are welcome anytime. Thank you so much for spending
Thank you,
the
sir.
evening
Thank
with
you.
us.
Thank you.
my pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we
So-
had a blast.
Yeah. So we will see you guys next week. Now, next week is Microsoft's press conference at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Times, 1 p.m. Pacific Time. We are live streaming that with our reaction team. It will be up here in the, where we've been doing our demos and stuff. So you'll be able to get a great look at the conference itself while chatting with us and having a good time. And hopefully you'll be happy. Annihilator, who is in the chat room, wants to be on with us, and I think we're going to let him come on and be our special guest for next week. And then after that, we'll go back to our regular 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time stuff. Last year we also did the PlayStation reaction show. If I could get anybody to guest on that, then we might do that as well. I'm planning on watching it, so we could probably do a stream again, and then we'll spend the next show talking about everything else. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna get us out of here. Thank you so much to everybody. Chat room, you guys were lit tonight. It was fantastic. Shout out to all of you guys. Shout out to our affiliate sponsor, the Inner Circle Network, Tick. These guys are great. Eric, as Brab's part of Tick, and Gamer's Perspective is part of Tick. So, we're all family now. Not that we weren't before, but we're all family now for real.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget to check out all the great stuff that Tick does with TICnetwork.com, I believe, is the new site. And it launched yesterday, and it looks fantastic. So,
It does.
Sam,
It does
It
look
does
really
look
good.
good.
that's Sam and the
It's
Sam
so
company.
good.
Yeah, it does. And we'll see you guys soon. By the way, if you notice, I took our Twitter feed out from underneath the logo because Twitter still is not giving me back my NLG Twitter feed.
Aw.
Stupid.
Sorry, bro.
Unbelievable. So, anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Everybody have a great week and play on, gamers.
Yeah.